away Bondsboy. Here's Mars landing now. The gap has finally appeared for him. Brains is back in fourth place. Arctic Vega next. Great battle up front here between Magical Wish and Mars landing, and Mars landing lands it again.
Straight 1,200 metres, all in, and they're off. And it is Roman River just in behind these Happy Path, natural path down towards the near side. Deep Intrigue is running on, layup on the far side, and here comes Deep Intrigue, the reserve, right over the top from Roman River, and it's Deep Intrigue who goes on to win.
Inside the final furlong they come, and it's David Eagle on Tawarek from Arkub, Justino and Mars landing. Tawarek is out in front here, and Tawarek is going to run out a pretty convincing winner.
And they're off. Happy Craft by a few lengths, Byline going to second place for Charlie Fisher, but it's Happy Craft in front by a good 3 lengths to Byline, running on late is Cool as Ice, but it's Happy Craft in front. She'll win another Bahrain Turf Series race. It is Happy Craft.
Roman River under top weight trying to cling on because Dark Shadow's putting in a strong run. Dark Shadow on the far side, Roman River on the near side, very little between them, and that is close. They're right across the course. Zagato bursting through the far side with Classical Wave. These two going on from Brains on the outside. Zagato being pressed by Classical Wave, who's beginning to get up. Brains running on down the outside, but it's Classical Wave.
Stand by for a start. The Al Sakir Cup, the Bahrain Turf Series, race 9. The field are set to go, and they're off. Running over 1,400 metres, and we've lost one at the start. Mushtaq has unseated the rider. Mushtaq is riderless. Inside the 400-metre mark, Cheval Al Jazeera is making them all go here. Natural Path and Silent Film are both staying on with Kings and Magical Wish, and then towards the outside, King's Knight, Nayslayer trying to come home well, and this leader, Cheval Al Jazeera, with the loose all coming back to the field. Here comes Silent Film with Natural Path, and King's Knight is also running on. It's close. The final Bahrain Turf Series race. Heading down towards the final 200, and it is Zagato and Neil Callan. They've kicked for home, and they've taken several lengths out of this field now. Wait Forever just about in second place from Tamparad, and then comes Bondsboy, but it's all over. Zagato will take the money. It's all parceled up. Zagato the winner.
Yes, the Bahrain Turf Series is back for its second season. Welcome to the Rashid Equestrian and Horse Racing Club. It is a warm but windy day. Tom Stanley joins me. Tom, it's great to be back. We've got 10 races again this season, 5 fixtures, £650,000 in the prize pot, and it looks all set today with our first 2 races.
Yeah, absolutely. 8 races in total and 2 part of the Turf Series. What we wanted this year, I think after a really successful first instalment of the Turf Series, was a bit more prize money on offer and a real star quality, in particular of the international horses coming out. We've definitely got that, but there again, the local trainers have still been busy at the sales and picked up some nice horses themselves. So in some ways, I hope it's more competitive with regard to international raiders having success, but it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, last year we had to wait till the very final fixture for Godolphin's Silent Film to become the first international winner and the only international winner out of the 10 races. As you say, we've got perhaps arguably a stronger international contingent that come over this for this season. We've got 7 international runners in each of our 2 races today, but it's going to be tough against the locals. What do you think generally of the standard of the international ones?
I think it's higher. I think what looks to be the case is that the main protagonists from last year are back, but we've also got a case of I think connections going back to the UK and saying, you should try this. That was great coming out and bringing horses out here. And we've got that with the likes of Hugo Palmer bringing a strong team out, etc. George Baker's well represented again. Roger Fell's got a couple of really nice horses out here. And some real established names from the UK coming out and competing for, well let's face it, for more prize money than often they would be in the UK. So that's a plus. But we're looking forward to some competitive racing. The other thing to touch on, a bit like the international trophy itself, is we've got a strong contingent of jockeys out here yet again.
We certainly do. And the horses, though, the international horses, they've been over here for a few days now. They flew in last week, so 10 days or so, getting used to the conditions. There they are working in the mornings. Wonderful facilities here. They've got quarantine stables here at the track. They train on brand new Martin Collins all-weather surface in the middle of the track. We've got 2 turf tracks, and generally the connections and the trainers and the jockeys and the owners that come over with these horses have a really good time here, Tom.
Yeah, and we saw that with the international trophy. We spent a lot of time talking to Niels Peterson, for example, who had his first runner out here with with his runner at the international trophy, King David. And he's also now brought 2 horses out here for the series itself. So clearly he and Connections really enjoyed their time out here a couple of weeks ago. And look, there's a lot to enjoy about racing out here. One thing that's good is it's a lot cooler than it was 2 weeks ago. It was nigh on too hot. This is perfect. Although I need to be stood the other way for the wind.
I was going to say, typical Friday in Bahrain, it is always windy. So we've got a very strong headwind, but the horses are used to it. It's often windy here. But the 2 Turf Series races are races 3 and 4 rather on the race card today. But we have got 8 races to enjoy. The horses are in the parade ring for our opening race. So let's get all the details of today's racing with our commentator, Darren Owen.
Thank you, Ali. Yes, hello everybody and welcome back to Bahrain for the 2022-23 Turf Series. Fiercely competitive action to come during the course of the day. And as the guys were saying there, we do have a strong headwind. It will be against the field as they come up the straight. Regarding the conditions, perfect conditions are out there on the track, as in the going good to firm, good in places for today's 8-race programme. And incidentally, there is a cutaway, 550 metres from home at the top of the straight, and we are using the outer track. Let's have a look at the menu. We begin with a race for the Arabian Breads. That is race number 1 on the programme, followed by race 2, which is for the handicappers, the locally bred handicappers, and then race 3, the first of the Turf Series races, sponsored by Sayakor. That's the Al Maharat Cup. That's over 2,000 metres. The sprinters will be in action. They'll be charging down the straight course over 1,000 metres for race 4, the Al Manama Cup, sponsored by BBK. The Rashid Equestrian and Horse Racing Club Cup comes up as race 5. That's over 2,200 metres there. That is for some of the locally bred stars. 6th race on the card is over the round 1,200 metres. We do race on the straight 12 as well from time to time, but we're on the round 1,200 for race number 6. Locally bred horses there for the Rashid Equestrian Horse Racing Club Cup. The Irish Thoroughbred Marketing Cup, race number 7, is for the imported thoroughbreds over 1,400 metres. And we close with an opportunity for the apprentice jockeys in that Irish Thoroughbred Marketing Cup over 1,400 metres. Again, that's race 8. Regarding the changes, well, the non-runners are basically the reserves. No need to call in any of the reserves today in races 3 and 4. And 1 jockey change coming up. Second race of the day, Paul Hannigan comes in for the ride on number 7, and Dante. So let's have a look at our card for the first race. The Arabian Bread runners will be facing the start here. 7 in total, over 1,400 metres. Number 1 is Al Saklawi. Al Saklawi and Ibrahim Nada. Number 2, Al Jalabi M833. Ali Hussein is aboard. Number 3, Al Jalabi M855 and Marcial Ashures. Number 4 is Al Jawaf and Adnan Jaffa. Number 5, Al Suwaiti and Tapiwa Mansusa. 6 is Al Crush and Hassan Al Safar. And number 7, Crayan and Salam Al Jami. 7 in total for our first race of the day, 1,400 metres for the Arabian Breads. And don't forget the break there on the card. That is Kulain Zorea. So the scene is set for today's action. Runners now in the paddock for our first race.
So the bell has gone. Let's have a look at these Arabs then in our opening race. There is number 1, Al Saklawi, the only horse to have recorded a win in this race and carries the penalty for that. Ibrahim Nada rides for Yusuf Aboanain.
Horse 2 is one of the Al Jalabis. This is Jalabi M833. Ali Hussein on board, claiming 3 for Abbas Al Mawali, and this horse needs to improve, I think, on what we've seen so far. Has the headgear on, which you can't really miss on that, Gray, the dart blinkers.
Horse 4 then, let's have a look at that. Al Shwaf is a horse trained by Yusuf Aboanain. Adnam Jaffer takes the ride on this horse, who'll be stepping up in trip, finished behind Al Crush, who also runs in this race, and we last saw him back on Trophy Day in the middle of November.
Horse number 5, incidentally horse 3 is just headed out onto the track, so we'll be heading down the other Jalabi. This is horse number 5, Al Suwaiti for Tapewa Magzusa. Abbas Al Mawali, the trainer, again in the colours of Al Muhammadiyah Racing, and has worn a hood in the past, this horse, and again hasn't really been seen on the premises, or certainly to the fore of affairs. Hopefully better today.
As Tom said, Al Jalabi M855 headed out straight onto the track under Michaelis Jures. This one, another horse, one of 3 in the race in the colours of Al Muhammadiyah Racing. He's going to be well represented here this afternoon. Al Jalabi, this Al Jalabi has had 2 runs so far this season, but needs to improve on both those runs. So horse number 3 then heading down to the start is Al Jalabi M855.
Six is Al Crush, maybe the chief danger to Al Saklawi here. That was certainly the case a few starts ago for Al Saklawi, and that was the last start for Al Crush. Had a hood on that occasion. That seemed to bring about improvement, and the extra distance may well just suit this horse.
As the horses make their way down to the start, right on the far side of the track, this is the 1400-metre start. Let's have a look at horse 7 there in your picture. At the back there in the victorious colours, the red with the white stripes on the arms. This is Crayon, a horse that is having just his 2nd start. He raced on Trophy Day, finishing down the placings that day, but could possibly improve for that first run, his debut on the track. So that horse number 7, Crayon, ridden by Salam Alajami and Yusuf Taha, the trainer.
And last of them is another 4-year-old, the second of the 4-year-olds, Kahalen Zurair, Hussein Marki and Yusuf Tahir combining. And this horse very lightly raced. He could well improve on what we've seen so far. We'll probably need to, but there was improvement from first to second start. That came with a step up in distance as well to the 1400, which he tackles here today. Runs in the colours of Victorious Racing. And a live contender based upon that run over this course and distance last time. That's your 8, and we'll head up and join Darren as they're making their way down a post.
Thanks, Tom. Yes, the field making their way to the 1400-metre start. Start for this race is pretty early in the back straight, so they got that run down the far side of the course, and then they take the turn less than 1,000 metres from home. Let's identify the runners as they go down to the start. 8 of them in total, and the ones in shot, well, the first of those greys there, the yellow cap, that's Al Suwaiti. Has the red colours, the white sleeves, yellow cap, Al Suwaiti number 5. Being followed to the start by Crayon, number 7, Crayon in the red with the white stripe sleeves, has the cheek pieces. The grey colours with the grey cap, white sleeves, Al Saklawi, number 1. Al Saklawi is alongside number 8, Kuhalen Zurair, who's got the red with the white striped sleeves, the first colours victorious. That is Kuhalen Zurair, has the striped cap, red cap on Crayon. Just looking at Al Sawaiti there in shot. And in the grey with the white sleeves, white cap is Al Shawaf. So runners then just gathering down at the start. Last the runners making their way to the start. Already at the start in the green with the white sleeves, that's Al Crush. Al Crush is number 6. And Al Jalabi M855 has the white sleeves, white cap. And the other Al Jalabi is Al Jalabi M833, has the distinguishing red cap. Number 2, Al Jalabi M833. So the first few of them have arrived at the post for this race for the Arabian Breds over 1,400 metres. So the last of the runners now arriving at the start for our first of 8 races today as we launch the 2022-23 Turf Series. The Arabian Breds are all at the start for race 1.
So one of the new things for the racing club this season is the introduction of the Turf Club down there. You can see, give us a wave, I'm sure you will in a minute, the kids all enjoying it. It will fill up throughout the afternoon, but they've got a race simulator down there to get sort of some young jockeys keen to get a bit more into racing. They've got some food concessions and generally a great atmosphere down in the Turf Village.
It is genuinely really good fun down there. You've got, I had a go at the giant Skittles. Didn't knock all of them down, which the children reminded me of immediately. But it's very good fun down there if you can get down there.
Yeah, there's all sorts down there for the kids. As the horses for our opening race then circle and start to load. Got the 8 runners in this. Plenty of runners wearing, well, 3 runners in the Al Mohammedia colours and a couple for Victorious Racing. That'd be well represented throughout the card. Where do you see this going on, Tom?
Well, there were a few in the preliminaries who, you know, it's so windy down here that they're particularly the younger ones, just getting used to it. I mean, they were fine. It's interesting to see such young Arabians lining up here because, you know, they're horses that tend to really come into their own when they get a bit older in comparison to the thoroughbreds. You know, as far as the 4-year-olds go, I thought Kahelanum Zarer has shown a good bit of ability on 2 starts and improved from first to second starts. Al Saklawi, as you mentioned, we know can win a race, so that's a plus. And that defeat came of Crush, who I thought had a chance, switched up to 1,400 metres here. That hood did bring about some improvement. So that might just give that horse a good chance of reversing the Saklawi form. But I'm interested to see how the youngster Kahelanum Zarer gets on against these older horses.
Another horse that ran up against Al Crush on Trophy Day was Al Shawaf, horse number 4, and another one stepping up in trip. Finished 3rd behind Al Crush that day. But yeah, a horse that's been knocking on the placings.
I think the other thing to point out is the headwind. You know, whether or not that will have an effect on anything that really tries to go forward. Is that Crush there just being a bit tricky?
That is number 1, Al Saklawi.
No, that's Al Saklawi, apologies. So just thinking about it. I mean, he's experienced enough, so...
So we have a jockey change in race 2. Hassan Al Safa will now take the ride on horse number 11.
So whether or not the headwind does make a difference to anything that's trying to make it here and you know, in the harder part of the race, just running into the headwind. It might just mean it pays to have the foot off the gas a bit and be held up a touch more, but who knows? We'll find out very soon with our opening race with Darren.
Thanks, Tom. Stand by. Race 1 for the Arabian Breds. They are almost ready to go over 1,400 metres. All in. And they're racing 1,400 metres in front of them. Not a great deal of pace on in the early strides. Crayan began sharply up along the inside, and right there being bustled along is Al Jalabi M855 with the white sleeves white cap. Just behind them is Al Crush, green and white colours. For that one, Al Zaklawi is only about 2 or 3 lengths off the pace. Al Shawaf's back in mid-division with Kuhelen Zareya with the red and white striped cap. Yellow cap of Al Zuwaiti on the inside, and the back marker Al Jalabi M833. So heading towards the end of the back straights, Al Jalabi M855 in front, Al Crush in second place, 3 parts of a length away, and then running widest of all into that bend is Al Shawaf, being followed by Crayan, who's going the shortest way. Then comes Al Zaklawi. These are being followed by Al Suwaiti with Kuhelen Zareya to the outside, and Al Jalabi M833 being pushed along at the back, not going the pace as they head now back towards the turn in. So down the straight, around about 500 metres left to go, and driven along is Al Jalabi M855 with Al Crush still travelling very nicely to the outside, being unleashed with its run. Al Zaklawi is also making progress. On the extreme outside is Al Shawaf. They head inside the final 300 metres, and down the outer it is Al Zaklawi who's trying to hit the front from Al Crush. Al Zaklawi and Al Crush, those two. Kuhelen Zareya is only about 2 lengths away and comes home really well. 100 metres or so left to go, and the leader is Al Zaklawi, who's trying to assert towards the finish from Kuhelen Zareya, and it goes to Al Zaklawi with Kuhelen Zareya second place, Al Crush back in third, and they were followed in 2 lengths away by Al Shawaf, and looking back, Crayan was the last one in. So Al Zaklawi, number 1, takes the opening race for the Arabian Breads. So Al Zaklawi the winner, and Ibrahim Nada just watching them in the closing stages. This horse travelled well and asserted inside the final 100 metres or so, and still had a good advantage of around about 2.5 lengths over Kuhelen Zareya. Did stay on quite well in second place, but Al Zaklawi too strong. This horse winning again, having won here early last month.
Yeah, good race, good performance from the only previous winner in the field. Al Zaklawi has scored. Ibrahim Nada, Yusuf Al-Banain. Successful, good team they are together, this jockey and trainer. More Arabian success with Al Zaklawi. He wears those cheek pieces, and he looked pretty straightforward at the business end, I thought. And I thought Ibrahim always looked pretty confident about where he was challenging. That's where he switched out at the cutaway. Makes it nice and fair. You can see that in the straight. And he just had too much left in the tank. Previous win had come over 1,200 metres, but he proved himself that he does get the distance over 1,400 and has proved that there again. I think you'd be pretty positive about the 4-year-old Kuhelen Zareya. This horse, that's his 3rd start. He's improved with each of them. He just looked a little bit less straightforward, shall we say, than the winner. But he's a 4-year-old, and you know he's running into a bit of a headwind. I'd be pretty forgiving of him and positive about him going forward. He will not be long, I think, in winning a race of this sort. Crush, I thought, shaped with a bit of promise. Whether or not he's totally seen it out, he's in a prominent position here. I'm not convinced. It might be a case that he does want to drop back in distance slightly. Suggested that stepping up might suit, but I think actually 1,200 might just be his distance. He's certainly not seen it out as well as the principals. But a nice winner in the form of Zaklawi. And the second, Kuhelen Zareya, has run with plenty of promise. Ali Vance has the winning rider.
Yeah, congratulations, Ibrahim Nada. Relatively easy in the end. How did it feel from your point of view?
Yeah, all good, thank you. The horse is good, and he ran 3 weeks in a row. So I was scared that he'd be a little bit tired, but the tips go for the trainer. He bought him with this form.
How important was the headwind, or how much did it affect you with the other races in mind, the later races?
Yeah, I have good chances at the other races, so I hope that I can win.
Let's hope so. Thank you very much. Ibrahim Nada, one of the top jockeys out here. Congratulations. He's going to get a good cheer from the locals then. Well done to our winning jockey. Ibrahim Nada, trainer Yusuf Aboanain, and Al Sakawi, a winner of our opening race.
Yeah, and Ibrahim will be on board What's the Story in the first of the Turf Series races. Put your hands together for the first winner of the afternoon, number 1, Al Sakawi.
So the results of the first race of the day for the Arabian Breds. First, number 1, Al Zaklawi. Second, number 8, Kuhailan Zarea. Third, number 6, Al Crush. And the fourth horse home was number 4, Al Shawaf. The distances are 2 1/4 lengths and 3 1/2 lengths, 2 1/4 lengths and 3 1/2 lengths. And the official time of the winning horse, 1 minute 41.88 seconds. 1 minute 41.88 seconds.
Well, as we wait for the horses to arrive into the parade ring for our second race, taking the opportunity to grab a few words with jockey Harry Davis. Harry, you've got one ride this afternoon in the first of the Turf Series races, over 10 furlongs, box to box for Hugo Palmer. What do you know about this one?
Well, I've ridden him before, and you know, hopefully, you know, he's off a low weight and he's got decent enough draws, so we'll just try and ride him positively and take our chances.
How important is the draw over 10 furlongs?
Well, look, it'd just be nice to just get a decent enough position early enough in the race to stem our chances late on and follow the right horses. You know, he's a horse that tries very hard, and I'm sure he'll be competitive.
16 runners, it's going to be busy out there. It's trying to stay out of trouble as well.
Well, yeah, you know, obviously you've just got to find a decent rhythm, and following the right horses, you know, there should be a decent amount of pace on, and if we can just get him nice and settled in a good rhythm, we'll all be happy.
You've got the advantage, you've been here, you've been riding here for the last month or so, since the beginning of the season. You I'm sure therefore have fed back. What are the kind of good horses or the suitable horses to suit the conditions here?
Well, I mean, you know, I think it's a pretty fair track from what I've ridden. I haven't ridden too many times, but I've been lucky to just get a few spins. And look, I think that it probably does favour being prominent. But again, you know, it's pretty fair. So I think if you're on the right horse and things go right, you know, you should be up there.
And who do you fear most in the race? Where do you think the challenges will come from?
Well, you know, I'd like to think Hugo's other horse would have a decent chance as well. You know, Paul Hannigan's riding. He's got a very good strike rate over here, and again, it'd be nice if we're up there in the firing line.
Well, look, good luck to you, Harry. Harry was had a winner on Trophy Day a few weeks ago, and on that day, the day was very much all about Alan Smith, the trainer out here. He had a treble, a man in flying form. He's leading the Trainers' Championship here in Bahrain, and he is, of course, mob-handed for the two big races this afternoon. And yesterday, we paid him a visit.
So Alan, the day before the start of the second running of the Bahrain Turf Series, how exciting is it to be back for another year?
Well, it's really good. Yeah, I mean we're pretty hyped for it. I think there's more quality this year. I think they have come over with a stronger team, and it'll probably be a little bit more difficult for us. We've tried to arm ourselves with some new ammunition, but we won't be showing that too soon.
How did you enjoy the challenge last year, the European horses coming over?
It was nice to see the level of our horses and the quality. And I think it probably surprised the invaders, as I call them. I'm going to call them visitors this year.
You've started the season in amazing form.
Yeah, the horses got through the summer really well. We didn't have any problems. Good out the boxes, and our pace seems to be right. I just hope we've got the stamina to see it out.
And tell us about your potential runners for the first Turf Series.
Instinctive Move would be our main contender, which Paul Hannigan rides. I mean, he's a really nice horse, and he's in good shape this year. He was second to Fighter Pilot first time up at level weights. We're slightly better off at the weights this time, and hope that that'll play into our hands. And he won very easily, very convincingly last time. So he's in good shape, and Paul has been looking forward to running him over 1,000 metres, coming back from 1,200. And our other horse is our old fella, four-wheel drive, who's still got some speed about him. I think, if anything, he's a little bit stronger this year. He's fully matured, and yeah, it looks like a young boy.
And how great is it to have a jockey like Paul Hannigan here riding your horses in the mornings and on the race days?
It's made such a difference to the whole team. I mean, he's so easy to work with. It gives good feedback in the mornings, and yeah, I mean, he's just a pleasant guy, isn't he? He's one of the nicest guys in racing, I think.
So great to hear from Alan Smith. Now we are looking forward to our second race of the day for the locally bred thoroughbreds over 1,400 metres. Let's have a look at the card then. Field of 13 runners. Number 1 is Kawafi and Ahmed Maki takes the ride. Number 2 is Shu Tabar and Robert Tart. 3, Shaddad Connor Beasley. 4, Lahoug and Ibrahim Nada. 5, Jabara and Alberto Sana. 6 is the Ghost Ship and Edinson Rodriguez. 7, Andante. Note the jockey change there. Paul Hannigan just putting up a spot of overweight as well aboard Andante. Number 8, Noon and Hussein Maki. Number 9, Madar. Rosie Jessup rides Madar. Number 10, Hamaya and Andrew Breslin. Another jockey change here. Number 11 is Zoman and Hassan Al Safar. 12, Jadler and Marcelis Jores, putting up a bit of overweight. Number 13 is Wathab and Mustafa Manab. Locally bred thoroughbreds going 1,400 metres, our second race of the day, and the runners are now in the paddock.
And so is leading trainer Alan Smith giving his jockeys last-minute instructions. Paul Hannigan and Edison Rodriguez riding the two victorious horses for Alan Smith in this race. Jockeys will be mounting soon. Let's have a look. There is horse 1 then, Kawafi, in your picture. Trainer Osama Hashin trains this one. Ahmed Maki takes 2 kilograms off number 1, Kawafi.
There's horse 3, mounted already. Connor Beasley is on board for Salahuddin Al-Bastaki. And this horse, a better effort when third last time, has improved definitely from his first few starts this season.
Just one in front of horse 3 then, that is horse number 2, Shu Tiber. A horse stepping up in trip to the 1,400 metres, been running mostly over 5 and 6 furlongs. Robert Tart is riding the horse. He's been riding it recently, last seen end of November, finishing 5th behind Racine. So horse number 2 is Shu Tiber.
There is Lahoug and Ibrahim Nada and Yusuf Al-Bunain looking for a quick-fire double off for the back of success in the Purebred Arabian race last time. We'll come out of gate number 4.
Horse number 5 is Jabara in the Al Afu Racing colours. Alberta Sana takes the ride on this one for Mohammed Hassan, and this one has been running over further than the 1,400 of today's race. Been running up in 1,800 and 1,600s, and last seen down the places when he last ran the end of November. So that is horse number 5, Jabara.
And the Ghost Ship is heading out under Edison Rodriguez, was actually behind Jabra number 5 last time. We'll definitely want to improve on that, but another candidate for potentially dropping in trip, suiting this horse, a Ghost Ship, carrying the victorious colours.
Well, a horse also in that same race, back on the 25th of November, is Andante, a horse that finished ahead of the Ghost Ship and Jabra on that day. And Paul Hannigan takes the ride for Alan Smith. This victorious horse, victorious owned horse, that's horse number 7, Andante.
There is horse number 8 with the cheek pieces on. That is Noon, Hussein Marki and Bassem Mahdi are the trainer-jockey combination here. And pretty well held over 1,000 metres last time. This will be a little bit different. Hopefully he settles up in distance.
As Rosie Jessup on board horse number 9, Madar, in the pink and blue colours, owned by Al Gala Racing, trained by Jaffa Raddy, and having just her second run of the season. Ran back at the beginning of November, so perhaps could come on for that run behind Kamari back at the on the 4th of November. This is horse number 9, Madar.
We've got 3 4-year-old fillies in here. This is the second of them, Hamia. Andrew Breslin and Samir Dawood are the team behind Hamia. And she was pretty well held when last seen. There was promise on the first start. That was over 1,200. 1,600 last time. And will hopefully come on for that first start of the season back towards the end of October.
In your picture there, horse number 13, Wathab. Mustafa Manev rides this one for Abdullah Hyde. And he's been riding it on recent occasions. A horse stepping down in trip. Last run over 2,000 metres just last weekend. So looking for some improvement, stepping down in trip. That's horse number 13, Wathab.
We owe you a couple more. And they're all pretty much down there now. You can see right at the back a shot there, just moved away with the sheepskin noseband on. Zaman in the grey colours of Al Nuwaif Racing for Charles Perkins and Abdullah Kuwaiti. This horse last seen over the 1200. That was first start of the season with Charles Perkins on board. Will need to improve for stepping back up in distance.
And finally, let's have a look at the four-year-old filly Jadler. This one, ridden by Michaela Juras. Basim Madi is the trainer. A horse who has had one run this season, back in the middle of November. Well done, the placings then. So looking for improvement for this filly. This is horse number 12, Jadler. And that is your 13 runners. They're just circling down at the start, the same start as the previous race on the far side of the track. It is the 1400-metre start. And they'll be beginning loading shortly.
Plenty available for you in the turf village. Plenty of food and drink outlets down there for you. And plenty for families to do as well. Any good at painting, Ali? It's not for me.
Yeah, not my speciality, but lots of fun to be had.
No, there's lots of...
You're better at Skittles.
Yes, yeah. Well, I wasn't very good at that either, I'm afraid. But there is lots to do. There's giant checkers down there as well. You know, here are the Skittles. Well, that's what I had, one still standing. Maybe nobody can better that. Maybe that's the issue. But I did have someone thankfully come in and knock the last one down for me. So there we are. Good fun down there. Who is going to take this one out, do you think? There's a few that need to improve. There's a few mixing it up distance-wise as well. A few coming back in trip, a few stepping up in distance. I suppose the top one, Kawafi, has the proven form over this distance, Ali.
Yeah, Kawafi's one that I like. Ahmed Maki taking a handy 2 kilograms off as well. And a horse that has been consistent in the placings. We saw last weekend finishing in third behind. We won it 6 times. He's a good horse. And over that trip. Another one I like is right down the other end of the weights. It's horse number 11, Zoman, for Charles Perkins and Abdullah Kuwaiti. A horse who's had just one start this season, finished second, although 13 lengths behind Kamari, finishing in second there and stays off the same rating today. So I think that's also one to watch. That's horse number 11, Zaman. What about you, Tom?
Well, definitely Kawafi has the most proven form in the book. I think stall number 11 will be okay as well, long enough to sort themselves out down the back. And Ahmed Maki has ridden her before. I think if Shaddad handles the step up in distance, then he could be interesting. Out of 12, Connor Beasley will probably have to tuck in. I suppose the main thing will be getting a horse like Shaddad just to settle in behind. Has tried the 1600 before, that didn't necessarily work. But there was a bit of promise last time over a good bit shorter. And I'll be interested to see how the likes of the Ghost Ship and Dante approach this, who are coming back in distance. They look as though they're horses with experienced riders on board who will want a bit of a test at this trip. So I wonder if one of those out of 5 or 13 will be forcing the issue a bit. We saw in the last race as well that those towards the fore just came down a little bit off the far side rail, down towards the centre. I'd suggest that was more of a case of it being, certainly one of them being an inexperienced pre-bred Arabian, rather than that being the place to be or anything like that, Ali. So yeah, we'll see what happens here with a nice big field.
Yeah, nice big field, competitive race. They've got plenty of time, though, to, as you said, sort them out before they do the sort of tight turn into the home straight. There's just one more victorious horse to load up. That's Ghost Ship, Edison Rodriguez. Plenty of people here this afternoon. It's a big day, opening day of the Bahrain Turf Series. Got 8 races, though, including those 2. And yeah, everyone's got their vantage point. It is weekend in Bahrain, and they're all in. So let's hand over to Darren.
So stand by, race 2 over 1,400 metres. They're ready to go. And they're off. And away smartly in the centre is the Ghost Ship. They form their early order with Jabara towards the inside running rail, and La Hougue is right there as they go through the first 200 metres, and Hamaya now coming through to take over. It's Hamaya by a length and a half, being followed by Jabara with the Ghost Ship and Dante caught wide. Shaddad is just in behind them in the black and yellow, 2 lengths further back then to Madar in the pink colours with La Hougue on the inside of Zoman. They're being chased by Shu Taiba, who's in the black colours. Wathab and Noon are alongside on either side. Off the pace, Jadler in company with Kawafi. Heading now towards the turn into the straight, 600 left to go, and it's Hamaya the leader. Hamaya leads by about a length to the Ghost Ship in second spot, with Jabbar in the black and red jacket on the inside of Shaddad as they turn the corner, and Dante is about 4 or 5 wide, but certainly has a clear view of the leaders. Madar coming with a run. They're heading now towards the last 400, and it's the Ghost Ship now being coaxed into the lead. The Ghost Ship, the leader, now takes over from Hamaya. Jabara to the outside with a run, and Dante. La Hougue is just off them, followed by Shu Taiba. Not an awful lot happening from off the pace. 200 left to go. It's the Ghost Ship in front by about a length or so to Shu Taiba on the inside, and Dante and Jabara trying hard to close in on the Ghost Ship. The Ghost Ship from Shu Taiba. The Ghost Ship still holding this lead of about a neck, and it is the Ghost Ship who wins. Shu Taiba second place, Jabara and Andante dispute third as they cross the line together. So a victory goes to the Ghost Ship, number 6, the Ghost Ship, and Edison Rodriguez for Alan Smith. Had a fight, but always seemed to be holding Shu Taiba in the run to the line. It was pretty close in behind there for third place, but the Ghost Ship certainly travelled well and has taken the money here in the hands of Edison Rodriguez. The Ghost Ship, the winner, second place there, Shu Taiba, big run in the hands of Robert Tartan. It's close for third, on the bob for third position between number 5, Jabara, and number 7, Dante. But it's a victory here for the Alan Smith stable, and victorious, it's number 6, the Ghost Ship.
And there is the winning trainer, Alan Smith. 2 in the race, he'll be delighted with that. We saw him beforehand. We heard from him beforehand. Our intrepid reporter, George Smiley, had been down to see him. Actually reported back to Ali and I that this horse could well go very well here. And he did indeed. Back in distance, he saw it out really well, the Ghost Ship. He's a nice looking horse who was put in a prominent attacking position by Edison Rodriguez. He'd come out of stall number 5 and he just rode the horse really confidently. I think a bit of clever riding as well from Edison, because he knew his big danger was Robert Tart and Shu Taiba on his inside. And he's got his stick in his right hand here, and he's keeping the horse nice and straight, but doesn't want to give away his inner. He wants to make sure that that horse can't quite get up there. He was always holding him, I think, but he's stayed on really well to score the Ghost Ship for this man, Alan Smith.
Well, I'm delighted to be joined by winning trainer Alan Smith. We'll just make our way into the parade ring. The horses are going to be coming in behind us. Alan, a marked improvement from the Ghost Ship, but making his handicap debut.
Yeah, I mean, Eddie rode him last time over 16. He said, oh, he wants to drop him back to 7. And, yeah, I mean, first time in handicap. So he's running off just a proper mark. You see that pretty close finish.
He was tough, though, wasn't he? I mean, he really had to. He hit the front quite a long way out.
Yeah, he likes to gallop, so you know Eddie's good at letting him do that.
And give us a word for your Turf Series runners today. You've got a nice one in the sprint for Al Adiat Racing.
Yeah, I got Instinctive Move and also 4-wheel drive, who's a good old sprinter. Going to be a bit of a cavalry charge out there, and with a headwind, you know, we'll see what happens. Instinctive
Move, though, has he's the favourite with the bookmakers internationally. Is that unexpected? I mean, or it's rather expected for you?
Yeah, I mean, don't forget he was fancied at Royal Ascot a year ago. You know, he's a nice horse. Yeah, we like him. Well,
look, one winner on the card so far this afternoon. I'm sure I'll be talking to you later.
Thanks a lot, Ali. Nice to see you wrapped up, Woomba.
I've learned.
Yeah, well done to Alan Smith. He's a great form this year, and good luck to him later on as well. There's the winner, having a good old blow after that. and has won pretty nicely, as I say, always holding. I think that was the key there with the Ghost Ship, and this opens up new options distance-wise as well. Ridden confidently to get the distance, and back in trip to the 1400. He's seen it out really well. There he is. He'll be heading off shortly. The winner, the Ghost Ship. We can start the full result now with Darren.
Thanks, Tom. So the full result of our second race for the locally bred thoroughbreds, it was a win for number 6, the Ghost Ship. First, number 6, the Ghost Ship. Second, number 2, Shu Tiber. Third, number 5, Jabara. And fourth was number 7, Andante. For the record, number 5th, number 1, that was number 1, Kawafi in 5th place. So that's 6, 2, 5, 7 and 1. The distance is half a length and 1 length, half a length and 1 length. And the official time of the winning horse, 1 minute 27.72. 1 minute 27.72.
We're an island. We've been a trading nation for centuries.
There's a strange feeling the minute we land into Bahrain, and honestly, it's the feeling of openness that makes everybody comfortable.
We have a world-class infrastructure, a great geographical location.
We have low operating costs, zero corporate tax, and we allow for more businesses to have 100% foreign ownership.
Come to Bahrain and use it as a regional hub to take your product to the next level.
People of this country are its secret weapon. Capital is available everywhere in the world. Technology is mobile, but people really are the differentiating factor.
You have to come visit Bahrain to really understand the friendliness of the people and the friendliness of the location to do business.
Yes, the Bahrain Turf Series is back for its second season. 10 races, 5 fixtures, £650,000 in prize money. The conditions and the ground here at the Rashid Equestrian and Horse Racing Club looking perfect ahead of today's opening race day. Last season, the locals dominated the series, winning 9 out of the 10 races. Our first race today is over 10 furlongs, 2,000 metres. It's the Al Maharik Cup, and Tom Stanley has all the details of this year's international contenders.
Thanks, Ali. Yes, we'll take these internationals in race card order. First up, number 2 on the card, Marie's Diamond for Connor Beasley, Roger Fell, and the Wolfpack and partner. Lucanda lines up for Pat Cosgrave and trainer George Baker, one of 3 the trainer has out here for the series. And the legend, What's the Story? Away from his favoured York for Keith Dalglish. This is Chianti, Niels Peterson and Carlos Lopez combining. And Commonsensical lines up for Paul Hannigan, now based out here, and trainer Hugo Palmer. Inigo Jones for the Osbornes, Safi and father trainer Jamie, and Box to Box completes the international lineup for Harry Davies and Hugo Palmer.
Last year's Al Maharik Cup was won by Mars Landing in the colours of Al Mohammedia Racing, and they're mob-handed in this race again this year with 4 runners, including the favourite Arctic Emperor. Let's now have a look at our second Turf Series race. It is the Al Manama Cup over 5 furlongs, and again 7 international contenders line up in this one.
Really strong lineup for the Al Manama Cup internationally, Ali. And first up is King of Stars, potential front runner for Safi Osborne and Mick Appleby. We've got Soldiers Minutes out here, another one for Keith Dalglish. Owen Walsh rides. Trainer George Baker has his second runner of the night in the form of Get It. Pat Cosgrave rides. We've got Kunan for Liam Canary and Richard Fahy, one of a few in the race for Al Mohammedia Racing. And Digital for Connor Beasley, another one for Roger Fell. And Nomadic Empire, the mount of Neil Callan for David O'Mara. Completing the lineup is the Scandinavian Here We Go Dandy, Carlos Lopez and Niels Peterson.
So those are the international runners taking part in today's 2 Bahrain Turf Series races. Tom, the horses are in the parade ring for the first race, first of those, the 10 furlong, the 2,000 metre race. But just remind us how the Turf Series works.
Yeah, so we need to first of all tie up how the prize money works, and indeed how the points work as well. So there are points amassed for each of the wins, and then there are awards for the jockeys and the connections. As far as the prize money goes, well, it's gone up this year, as we know, 60,000 per race, 36,000 for first place, 12,000 for second, third 6,000, just over 3.5 for the fourth, and just under 2.5 for the fifth. Most importantly, the prize money has gone up, and I think that's led to a really strong international challenge. And you can take us through the points, Ali.
Yeah, points then for each of the pots, the divisions. There are 2 divisions in the Bahrain Turf Series, and as such, the winner gets 15, second 10, third 7, fourth 5th, fifth, third, and then every other horse gets 1 point. And at the end of the series, the horses with the most points in each pot get bonuses: 15,000 for the trainer, 15,000 rather for the owner, 10,000 for the trainer. It makes up another £50,000 in the pot. So as I said, £360,000 in total prize money for the Bahrain Turf Series. So horses then are in the parade ring. We're building up to the first race as part of the new Turf Series. It is over 2,000 metres. It's the Al Maharik Cup. Let's get all of the details of today's runners with our commentator this afternoon, Darren Owen.
Thanks, Ali. Well, the all-important details regarding the wind, the weather, the ground conditions. On the subject of the wind, we've got a fairly strong headwind. That's a headwind as the runners gallop up the home straight here today. The going, it's good to firm, good in places. Stalls are on the inside on the round course. And regarding the straight race, the stalls officially positioned in the middle, but they'll be right across the course. That's around about 24 degrees. And for those of you who don't know the track here in Bahrain, it's a a right-handed course in excess of 2,000 metres, around about 2,200 metres, a little bit over that. So 2 races to look forward to then in the International Series today. And we begin with the middle distance horses in the Al Muharraq Cup. It's over 2,000 metres. Then number 1 is a Classical Wave, and Stefan Ladjaj is aboard. Number 2, first of the visitors we see here on the card, Mary's Diamond and Connor Beasley. Number 3 is What a Welcome and Jerome Moutard. Number 4, Bonds Boy, Liam Canary. 5, Lucanda. 4, the stable of George Baker, and Pat Cosgrave is the jockey. 6, Magical Wish and Andrea Zini. 7 is Tall Order and Andrew Breslin. Number 8, What's the Story, and Abraham Nardafo, the stable of Keith Dalglish. Number 9, the Scandinavian Raider Chianti and Carlos Lopez. Number 10, Commonsensical for Hugo Palmer's yard. Paul Hannigan is aboard Commonsensical. 11, Grigadale and Jason Watson. Horse comes here on the back of a win. Number 12 is Arctic Vega and Hussein Maki. Number 13, Inigo Jones and Safi Osborne for Jamie Osborne, formerly trained by Sir Michael Stout. Number 14 is Takaria and Alberto Sana. 15, Arctic Emperor and Neil Callan. And number 16 on the card is Box to Box for Harry Davis and Hugo Palmer. No need to call in the reserve. So full field, 16 runners for the Al Muharraq Cup, first of our 10 international races for this turf series for 2022 and 2023. The runners are in the paddock. Let's rejoin Ali.
Let's have a closer look then at our 16 runners in this opening contest. Horse number 1 then is Classical Wave, a winner in the Turf Series last season, won the Anchorman Cup back in February, a regular in the big races out here, now in his 2nd season in Bahrain, formerly with Roger Varian. But Stefan Ladjaj takes the mount on board Classical Wave for Hisham Al Haddad.
Real favourite back in the UK, horse number 2, Mary's Diamond. Lines up for Connor Beasley and Roger Fell. Roger supporting the series this year. Great to have him out. And this horse, a potential pace angle, will probably look to make use of stall number 1.
And to a horse that is a favourite out here, What a Welcome, won the King's Cup in 2020. Been a very good horse for connections. Now trained by Hisham Al Haddad, Jerome Moutard takes the ride on this one. He needs to return to the form that he was in back in 2020. He's lightly raced, but he's been training well. This is horse number 3, What a Welcome.
Horse 4 is Bonds Boy, course and distance winner last time, and lines up for Liam Canary, who was on board for that start on the 11th of November, and for trainer Osama Hashim. Comes out of stall number 15. Won't necessarily make life easy in this nice big field we got for the first of the Turf Series races.
Horse number 5 will be having his first start for trainer George Baker. This is Lucanda. Pat Cosgrove comes over from Dubai to take the ride on this horse. He was formerly in training with Rafe Beckett, 14th in the Cambridgeshire in his latest run. But he's been in the winners' enclosure this season, back at Windsor in May, over 10 furlongs. So 1 for George Baker, this horse number 5, Lucanda.
Horse number 6, Magical Wish, been contesting some top-end races out here. Back end of last season, 1 run this season as well, where, I mean, that was in a good race in comparison to coming into this Al Muharraq Cup. That said, he's coming out of 14, not without a chance, and Thorayrat Zaini takes the ride for Haider Ebrahim.
Horse number 7 then, another locally trained horse in Tall Order. Jalil Al-Mala is the trainer of this one. Andrew Breslin takes the ride. Had 1 run this season, finished a good run behind Rayanpur in a decent race back on Trophy Day. So not without his chance then. Horse number 7, Tall Order.
Another one of the international raiders is Commonsensical for Paul Hannigan and Hugo Palmer. Paul now based out here, and Hugo Palmer, who's got a couple of runners today. A couple of runners lining up in this. This is the first of them, Commonsensical, with the visor on, come out of stall number 3.
Horse 12, one of 4 in the race for owner His Highness Sheikh Sultan and the Al Mohammedia racing colours. This is Arctic Vega, Horse number 12, be wearing the yellow cap. Hussein Maki takes the ride, trained by Hesham Al-Haddad. Arctic Vega in his second season in Bahrain. He ran in many of the Turf Series races last season and in the Crown Prince's Cup, so he's been in and amongst it, amongst the very best, finishing second on his season's debut back at the end of November. That's horse number 12, Arctic Vega.
Love to see this horse go well. It's What's the Story. He's got local rider Ibrahim Nadir, who's already on the board so far this afternoon, won our opening race. And he rides What's the Story here. He'll come out of stall number 12. It's great to see this York lover out here in Bahrain for Keith Dalgleish.
Could you announce once they've gone to post the winner of the best turned out, chosen by the sponsor, was horse number 5?
Horse number 9 then is Chianti, one of 2 horses who will be based over here for trainer Niels Peterson. He's got yards in Norway and in Denmark. This horse has been mostly running in Norway. He won his last race. That was on dirt. He's just a 3-year-old, Chianti. Carlos Lopez comes in to ride this horse. And Niels Peterson will be hoping for a big run from this relatively lightly raced 3-year-old. Horse number 9, Chianti.
This is number 11, Grigadel. Jason Watson takes the ride, one of 2 rides he's got in the turf races for Al Mohammedia Racing. Abbas Al Mawali is the trainer. This horse has been a great purchase to come out here. He's been on top form. Neil Callum was on board last time. Jason Watson takes over here. He will come out of stall number 16, and he's stepping up in distance, but must have a really good chance.
Bottom weight then, horse number 16 is Box to Box for Hugo Palmer. 17-year-old jockey Harry Davis takes the ride on this horse. He's ridden him in the UK. He knows all about him. Harry's already been in the winner's enclosure this season in Bahrain. He's having a fantastic time over here, and he's right in the bottom of the weights. He's a 3-time winner, though, back in the UK, and it's horse number 16, Box to Box.
This is horse number 13. You can see with the red hood on, that'll come off. We know that. This is Inigo Jones for Safi Osborne and Jamie Osborne. Will come out of stall number 11, Sun and New Approach. And there's an exciting new recruit out here. We'll see how he gets on in the Turf Series. Inigo Jones for the Osbornes.
In your picture there is horse number 14, Takarir, trained by Mohammed Hassan. Alberta Sana takes the ride on this one in the colours of Al Afu Racing. And he needs to bounce back from his last run back in the middle of November. But where he finished well down the field in that 2,000-metre race. That is horse number 14, Takarir.
Arctic Emperor lines up for Hesham Al-Haddad and Neil Callan, who was a real star out here his first full season riding out here last year. He's back again this year. The main rider for Al Mohammedia Racing, and Arctic Emperor will come out of 7 off the back of a promising run last time. That was behind Grigadel for the same owner, albeit in a different stable, and up in distance may well suit this horse. He's just getting going there, heading down to the start under Neil Callan.
And as the horses head down to the start, best turned out, chosen by today's sponsor, Sayer Corp, it's horse number 5, Lucanda. So thank you. Congratulations, 2 connections. Then best turned out, horse number 5, Lucanda, for George Baker.
So there they are on their way down. There's a few just starting their move down towards the start. One of those is Magical Wish for Haider Ibrahim and Andrea Atzeni. Great to have Andrea out here riding for the full season. Paul Hannigan as well. Some notable names that have committed themselves to the Bahrain, not just the Turf Series, but also the Bahrain season as a whole. As far as the start goes, they'll start just over to our left. It is, of course, the same start as the Bahrain International itself, over the 2,000 metres. And the other thing to point out is that there's quite a headwind here now. It's really got up throughout the afternoon. Now, the winners of the first couple of races, they were prominent throughout, didn't necessarily lead. And it can be a track where it pays to get into a handy enough position. But the wind is getting up a bit, and in this big old field, just wonder if it will suit to just be a little covered up, perhaps. A man supporting the season out here again is Jamie Osborne. He's got Inigo Jones. He's with Ali.
Jamie, you were here last year for the Bahrain Turf Series. You know what kind of horse is needed. How does Inigo Jones fit the bill?
Well, it's his first run for us, and he hasn't run for 6 months, and we're in a different country. So we've a lot of variables here. But he's been working quite well. He might just need the run a little bit, but we felt that fast ground, this track, is possibly going to suit him, so that's why he's here.
And you know that a lot of the local trainers obviously been shopping very much back in the UK as well to find their superstars. They're going to be hard to beat again this year? Yeah,
and well, generally the standard is clearly a lot higher this year than it was last year, you know, so it's going to take a better horse to win a Turf Series race than it did last year. Obviously the locals dominated in the first year, so hopefully the Travellers can have a shot this year.
Well, look, good luck. Thanks for talking to us.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think that's something interesting that Jamie's touched upon there. There were the 10 races last year, and 9 of them did go to the home team. Now, great for the home team, but also it's meant that I think this year the internationals have had to be that little bit stronger. Fauzi Nasser's got on record as saying, well, they're going to have to bring out a better crop of horses. I think that looks to be the case, and the added prize money, up to 60 grand per race, will have definitely helped with that. So we've seen that internationally. And that said, the locals have been busy again at the sales over in the UK and bought some nice horses to come and challenge out here themselves. So it's going to be really competitive. I think ultimately what everyone will be delighted with is nice full fields here. No need for the reserves in either of the races. Over the 2,000 metres we've got 16, and then in the sprint we've got a total of 18 coming up. So yeah. Lots to look forward to, and as far as the local team go, we can hear a little bit more now. Here's Ali.
Yeah, Jalil Al-Mala joins me. You've got horse number 7, Tall Order, who perhaps is not one of the more fancied local horses, locally trained horses, but he's a good horse on his day.
Well, I don't know why you're saying he's not one of the fancy ones. He's in a good shape. We came here ready. I think we have a good chance of being, I would say, in the money. To be on the safe side. He's good. He's been showing real class and exercising. I won't count it as Jalil Al-Malah today. It's the Bahrain team, I would say, against the visitors. Okay, so any one of the Bahrain team wins today, I'll go and say, well done.
I was going to say, just how important is this series for the trainers out here? You guys have been really plotting and planning which horses to run in here. Where are you going to be buying some more for this series? It's important.
Well, it's very important for us. You know, Bahrain has arranged this, and we are here to support whatever is done by our kingdom. I think by us taking part in this race, we are supporting it. It's not just us, okay? We want to show the others how good are the base Bahraini trainers, how good are Bahrain horses. With all respect to the visitors, okay, our horses are good enough to compete. The other thing is those guys come here. We're talking about big trainers. We're talking about Hoge Belma. We're talking about Richard Fahy. All those guys coming here, we're picking up good things from them. And instead of us going all the way to, let's say, UK and going into institutes and all to learn things, now the Rashid Club had brought everybody for us and say, oh, guys, come on, learn from them. And I think it's a good opportunity, and thanks to Sheikh Isa for this.
Well, look, good luck today, and good luck for the rest of the series. Thank you.
I need it. Thank you.
Now, I thought this horse looked fantastic. He's having a good old kick out. This horse has been here a good while now. One of a couple for Niels Peterson. One of 3 horses that came out. One ran in the Bahrain International Trophy. That was King David. And then he's got 2 out here for the series. I thought Chianti did look, of the internationals, really well. There's a few of the internationals that have just started their winter coats and been clipped. What's the Story was one of those. Still looking well. I'd love to see that horse go well. What's the story? Real firm personal favourite back in the UK. 8 years old now. And interesting that Keith has gone for a local rider in the form of Ibrahim Nadir. And thought box to box looked well as well. One of the 3-year-olds for Hugo Palmer. Great to see him out supporting the series as well. So, loading process well underway. Just the 16 to warm Darren up for the 18 that are to come with the first race of the season for the Bahrain Turf Series. Darren, all yours.
They're all in. And they're off. The Bahrain Turf Series gets underway with the Al Muharrak Cup over 2,000 metres. As they form their early order, Chianti began sharply with Marie's Diamond right there to the inside running rail. Being rushed up is Arctic Vega in the centre. They go into that first bend. A box to box is just in behind the leaders as well. Right on the outside comes Magical Wish. A place in front of that one is Bond's Boy. What's the Story settles down in mid-division. Lucanda's a bit further back, 3/4 of the way down the field with Classical Wave, who hasn't settled. They move now down the back straight, and in that rear pack at present are Inigo Jones and Tall Order. Down the far side they go, and it is Arctic Vega and Marie's Diamond from Chianti. Magical Wish 2 lengths away to What's the Story, being followed to the inside by Bond's Boy. Box to box, Commonsensical and What a Welcome. They're racing together. Out wide with the red cap is Grigordale, followed by Lucanda. Then comes Classical Wave. Reading back to Arctic Emperor, Tall Order, Takaria, and last of all Inigo Jones. They've left the back straight, less than 800 metres to go. They're coming down the side of the course. It's Marie's Diamond and Arctic Vega. They're toe for toe. A gap then of around about 3 lengths to Magical Wish on the inside of What's the Story. Just in behind those is Bond's Boy to the inside, running rail from What a Welcome. Box to box in the pale jacket being driven along, purple colours of Lucanda. Arctic Emperor's got a bit of work to do from that position. Classical Wave is to the running rail and they're homeward bound. They fan out across the track. What's the Story down the centre? Claims the advantage. Big run from What a Welcome. Lucanda, purple jacket, is up along the inside, heading down towards the last 200, and it's Lucanda who goes on now and quickly takes a few lengths out of this field. In second place is What a Welcome. Box to box down the outside from What's the Story in Arctic Emperor. It's Lucanda for Pat Cosgrave and George Baker, and it's one for the visitors. Lucanda, a wide margin winner as well. What a Welcome. Close call with Arctic Emperor for places. Then box to box, Tall Order was alongside What's the Story. Number 5, Lucanda has won it. Lucanda for Pat Cosgrave and George Baker. George ran horses here last season in the Turf Series. He said he would be back bigger and better as well, with Lucanda the winner, formerly trained by Rafe Beckett. Horse finished midfield in the ultra-competitive Cambridgeshire back in the autumn in the UK. Lucanda has won, but Lucanda hasn't just won. He has won by a wide margin there. Took several lengths out of them, probably the best part of a half a dozen lengths in the end. Lucanda, the winner for Pat Cosgrave and George Baker. First run for the stable, and it is a first win for the visitors in leg 1 of the 2022-23 Turf Series.
Wow, that's definitely gone to the international team, and in some style as well. This horse is absolutely bolted up, Lucanda, under Pat Cosgrave, who made the quick trip over from Dubai to take the ride, and that is very much job done. George and Candida Baker have supported this series last year and again this year. Candida is here actually alongside me, so perhaps you can talk us through the closing stages here. Never really in doubt, was it?
Well, I mean, I thought he might have gone a little early. But he just extended. I mean, we don't know anything about this horse really, apart from his character and what we've done at home. But to do that in our first race here is fantastic.
Yeah, brilliant. What is he like?
He's very sweet in the stable. He's very laid back. He's a little bit quirky. You know, that's why the blinkers have gone on, but I don't know if he needed them today.
You must be absolutely delighted, you and George and the whole team, because that great prize money, that's really paid off.
Oh, well, you know what? We love Bahrain, and we're very, very lucky to be here and to be able to beat what are some of the best horses in the race out here. You know, I'm delighted for everybody.
Well done. Let you go welcome him in. Candida, well done. Really, really good result for the Bakers, for Pat Cosgrave as well. You can see him in the saddle there. And he rode the horse with a lot of confidence. Well, he may have his quirks, but goodness me, he's absolutely taken that apart. Just nothing else could latch onto him when he kicked clear. That was the point where Pat said, right, I got some horse under me, off we go. And he just put the race to bed. We haven't seen a real wide margin international winner out here at the Turf Series. The races we've seen this season, by and large, haven't had a horse take anything apart quite like that, even the local races. That was really impressive. And, you know, as far as the rest of the series goes over this distance, mixing up between 1800 and 2000, it'd be hard to stop, I'd imagine. What did the jockey make of that, Ali Vance?
Well, let's find out, talk to Pat. A brilliant run by the horse, but Pat's only ridden here once before, knew nothing about the horse, didn't really know too much about the course. Job done though, Pat.
Yeah, look, obviously came from Rafe Beckett, who's a very good trainer, but it just shows a good George Baker's team, or how good they are at getting these horses and improving them and sweetening them up, and all credit goes to them. My job is easy. They went hard, and I just took my time, and I was further back than me, but I thought they can't keep going this speed, and quite honestly, we got there too soon in the end, and it wasn't doing a lot in front, but he's obviously, I say, big ups to the Baker team. They've done a great job.
Yeah, it all went well for you, because there's 16 runners. It's being in the right place at the right time is so important.
Yeah, look, it was messy all early on down the first bend. It's only a furlong to that sharp bend, and there was a little bit of shouting going on, but you know, I just sort of sat sort of quiet, and they came back to me turning in, and they say, you know, obviously sweetened up this horse good, and he came alive with me sort of, you know, at the 600 metres, and the race is over very quickly. And
personal satisfaction coming here. You've ridden here once before, but this is your first winner here. A big race. It's you know, an important race. It's nice to have that one on the CV.
Yeah, look, it's great because you know, the Bakers have been very good to me over the years, and they rang late on, and I was actually booked to ride a Maidan this evening, and you know, I just changed my mind and came here instead, and I'm glad I did. You know, I'm not sure if that's been 99th or 100 winner for the Baker team, so it's a good time to get it.
Well, I'm glad you did as well. Coming here instead of heading to Maidan this evening, flying in from Dubai, our winning jockey, Pat Cosgrave. Congratulations, Pat.
Yeah, on the George Baker trained Lucanda, what a performance. There'll be many other races now on this horse's agenda, not necessarily in the series, but the graded races, the big races out here now. He's not going anywhere. What a performance. Please welcome back in the winner of our third race, first of the Turf Series, Lucanda.
So the result of the first Turf Series race for 2022-23, the Al Muharraq Cup. First, number 5, second, number 3, third, number 15, and fourth, number 16. That's first, number 5, Lucanda. Second, number 3, What a Welcome. Third, number 15, Arctic Emperor. And fourth, number 16, Box to Box. The distance is 5.5 lengths and a neck, 5.5 lengths and a neck. And the official time of the winning horse, 2 minutes 03.16. 2 minutes 03.16. Lucanda, our winner.
So the turf village then really filling up now the afternoon in full flow. We've had our 3 of our 8 races, and we've just enjoyed a fantastic first Bahrain Turf Series race, first of 10 races this season, and the trophy presentation then taking place as the George Baker team make their way over to the rostrum. Presenting the trophy then of this Al Maharik Cup is sponsored by Saya Corp, and Fawaz Ali Al Jawda, Chief Executive Officer of Saya Corp, is here to present the trophy, and to winning trainer George Baker's wife, Candida, alongside supporters. Here's the winning jockey, Pat Cosgrave. Congratulations to all connections, owner Nigel Jones and Paul Bowden. Well done to Lakanda, winning the first of 10 Bahrain Turf Series races. Victory in the Al Maharik Cup.
So we're moving on now to the second Turf Series race. It's the Sprinters division, the Al Manama Cup, coming up, sponsored by BBK. It's to be run over the straight 1,000 metres here. And another big field, and no need to call in the reserves. Field of 18 runners. Number 1 is Fighter Pilot and Stefan Lajaj. Number 2 is Ocean Star and Alberto Sana. 3, Dark Shadow and Jason Watson. Number 4 is Bahrain Bread. Andrew Breslin takes the ride. Number 5 is King of Stars, partnered by Safi Osborne for Michael Appleby. 8 is Swindler and Salam Al-Jami. The 7, Instinctive Move, Paul Hannigan for Alan Smith, aboard this last time out winner. Number 8 is Soldier's Minute and Owen Walsh for Keith Dalgleish. 9 is Ektiar and Jerome Moutard takes the ride. Number 10 is En Jazat and Abraham Nada. 11 is Get It with Messrs Cosgrave and Baker looking for a quick double. 12 is Four Wheel Drive and Andrea Zini. 13 Dynamic Force, Robert Tarp. 14 Tina and Hussein Maki. 15 is Kunan and Liam Canary for Richard Fahy. 16 at Digital, now in the care of Roger Fell, and Conor Beasley takes the ride. Number 17, Nomadic Empire for David Amara and Neil Callan. And 18 is the Norwegian Invader. That is Here We Go Dandy and Carlos Lopez for Niels Peterson. So no need to call in the reserves. Full complement, 18 runners to dash down the straight 1,000 metres for the Al Manama Cup. Race 4, the first Turf Series race for the Sprinters.
Yeah, 18 runners, 7 of those have come over from overseas, and the international trainers looking for another scalp. And I can't tell you, Tom, last season it took to the final day for there to be an international winner. We've had it in the very first race. Yeah. They've obviously learnt they're bringing better horses over here this season. Are we going to have another international winner in our second race?
Well, but perhaps not quite in that style. I don't know. I'd love to see it. It would be great. I think there's a good mix, isn't there, from horses that have been brought out here by the locals, and also some really good quality international sprinters. I think King of Stars is one of those, who I know is going to go early to the post. And we also had another horse, 6 Swindler, who's headed out there already, Ali.
Yeah, already headed down there, Swindler, who's trained locally by Yusuf Taha Salim. Al-Jami takes off 3 kilograms off Swindler, and it's a horse that has been in many of the big races here over the last few seasons. Actually, the jockey's just got off, giving the horse a bit of a breather as he's down to post early. But let's have a look at some of the other horses then. They're all in the parade ring now. Got 18 to get through.
Number 1 is the horse in shot there. That's Fighter Pilot, who's a gelded son of Kodiak, a 4-year-old who's had 3 goes out here this season and been in good nick as well. Over the 1200 by and large, but not short of pace. I don't think the drop back to 1000 will be a problem necessarily. And we'll see how draw 16 works out too. Get a chance to explore the width of the track.
Horse 2, another favourite out here. This filly been running in all of these big sprints and has been in great form this season, winning a domestic Grade 2 on her last start just last weekend. That was over 6 furlongs, the straight 6 furlongs, so back down in trip. And Alberta Sana takes the ride in the colours of Al Afu Racing for Mohammed Hassan, horse number 2, Ocean Star.
Three is the horse in shot. That's Dark Shadow, has the blinkers on. Osama Hashim trains, and Jason Watson is on board for Al Mohammedia Racing. Again, has had 3 starts here. One at the back end of last season over this distance, and then 2 here. Stepped up to 1200 last time. Probably the best form has come over the 1000 though. So that's a plus returning to this trip.
Horse 4 is a horse called Bahrain Pride, who was formerly with the Crisfords in the UK, running in the colours of KHK Racing, and now is over here for Hussein Adalami. Andrew Breslin takes the ride on this one, but not had a run for a year, so interesting to see how this horse gets on. Horse number 4, Bahrain Pride.
Next up is horse number 7 for trainer Alan Smith, who won the 2nd race on the card here before the Turf Series got underway. Paul Hannigan out here riding for Al Adiyat Racing, and Sheikh Issa takes the ride on Instinctive Move. 3-year-old Instinctive Move will come out of stall number 4.
Horse 8, Soldier's Minute, trained by Keith Dalgleish, and jockey Owen Walsh coming out of retirement to ride this one, Soldier's Minute. Ran very well in the all-weather last winter. Had a bit of a break and has had a prep race before coming out to Bahrain, finishing 2nd at Chelmsford in November. Not run, though, on the turf since September 2021. Much higher rated, though, on the all-weather, so it'll be interesting to see how horse number 8, Soldier's Minute, does back on turf.
This is 9, Ektiar, real pocket rocket in the flesh, this horse. He's got that red hood on. And Jerome Moutar takes the ride for Jaffa Radi. He's a gelded son of Bated Breath. We know about his form in the UK. He's an 8-year-old now out here. He'll come out of stall number 1.
So crowds gathering around the parade ring. A couple of horses gone down early, but the bulk of them are here. Let's have a look and then at number 10, Njazet, another horse who ran in the colours of Sheikh Hamdan, and he's had 1 run in Bahrain in the middle of November over the 5 furlongs in a domestic Grade 2. Well beaten that day, so we'll need to improve on that run. That is horse number 10, Njazet, trained by Harib Al-Maki, and Ibrahim Nada takes the ride.
Well, this would be quite the double, wouldn't it? Get It for Pat Cosgrave and George Baker. They won the first of the Turf Series races. They'll be looking for the second one here. Another horse they picked up, 4-year-old here, son of Twilight Sun. Will come out of 18. Remains to be seen whether or not that is the right side. But too early to make any calls on that. We'll see how Get It goes for George Baker.
Top jockey Andrea Atzini's picked a nice ride up in this horse, horse 12, 4-wheel drive. He's been a regular in the big sprints out here, trained by Alan Smith. Last seen back in the beginning of November, over the 5 furlongs, finishing a good 2nd behind Power Train. He's been dropping down the ratings of late, but a good horse on his day, horse number 12, 4-wheel drive.
13 is Dynamic Force. Robert Tart rides, knows the horse well, been on board for both starts this season when bumping into Roman River and Instinctive Move. The Roman River form is pretty strong. That was over the 1,000, stepped up to the 1,200 and now back over 5 furlongs, 1,000 metres, which I think will suit. That said, this is ultra competitive. It'll come out of 17.
Horse 14 is Tina, wearing the red hood that will get removed down at the start. Hussein Maki takes the ride on this for trainer Hussein Adalami, having his first run of the season. Tina, a 5-year-old in the colours of Al Mohammedir Racing. That's horse 14, Tina.
Now this is King of Stars, who was one of the first out of the paddock, just taking his time heading down for Safi Osborne and for Mick Appleby. Owner Bill Esdale here as well. And this horse, he's well, I don't want to jinx him, but he's got a race like this definitely within him, without a doubt. He's not always been the most fortunate. I'm hoping he goes well. I'm also in earshot, I think, of the owner, so apologies. But I am hoping he goes very well here, King of Stars.
Horse 15 in the familiar colours of Al Mohammedir Racing is Kunan, and is a horse so trained in the UK by Richard Fahy, just a 3-year-old. A horse that was very good at 2, winner over 5 furlongs, and has been running in some big handicaps over in the UK this summer. Horse number 15 then for Richard Fahy, Liam Canary takes the ride. That's Kunan.
Right, this is Nomadic Empire. Viewers around the world, in the UK, will certainly know a good bit about this horse. He's always carried the colours of Al Mohammedir Racing. Out here now for David O'Mara and Neil Callan. Tends to want a sound surface, gets that here. Again, hasn't always been the luckiest in a run, but entitled to go pretty close, I'd say, here, and can mix it up over both 5 and 6 furlongs. Neil Callan takes the ride, comes out of stall 2.
Horse 16 heading down to the start is Digital for Roger Fell and Connor Beasley. As a 3-time winner for Kevin Ryan this summer, ran at Southwell in November for his new connections, and is one of 2 horses that Roger Fell has sent over here to be based here for the series. This is horse number 16, Digital, a 4-year-old for Connor Beasley.
And what about the Scandinavian challenger? This is Niels Peterson's Here We Go Dandy. Carlos Lopez takes the ride, one of 3 out here for Niels Peterson. Will come out of stall number 3. He's a 4-year-old on the upgrade, and this looks the perfect starting point for the series. Again, another one that can mix it up over the 5 and 6 furlongs, and starting off over the 5 here. Good luck to the international challengers. Here we go, Dandy, son of Dandy Man, lining up for Niels Peterson, Carlos Lopez.
And as the horses head down to the start, our sponsors BBK have selected their best turned out. That goes to horse number 10, and Jazat trainer Harib Al-Malki will pick up the prize for that. The Arabian Horse for Equestrian and Veterinary Services have generously given 50 BD to the racing groom responsible for the best turned out horse, and in this race that goes to horse number 10, and Jazat. A great new innovation, this, the Turf Village. All the kids enjoying their afternoon. There's all sorts of games to play with in there for the kids. Food, drink, there's art, there's all sorts as we gear up towards our 2nd Bahrain turf race. This one over the flat out 5 furlongs. 7 international trained horses have come over to contend this. There's 18 runners, and Tom is one with one of the international owners.
Well, we came away from the turf finish from a game of Jenga rather sharply earlier on, and I know Bill and Mick alongside me were keen to know what happened there, but you're also more keen to know what's going to happen to your horse, I'm sure. Mick Appleby, first of all, trainer. What's behind the decision to come out here?
Bill.
Bill, what's behind? Prize money?
Well, fast ground. We had a summer of chasing fast ground, and watered ground in England wasn't to his liking. So fast 5 furlongs, it seems like the perfect opportunity for him. Hope.
What's he like to train, Mick?
Yeah, he's pretty straightforward. I never ride him. Johnny does all the work with him. So, I mean, he's done a great job with him since we've had him. So, he does everything on his own at home.
And I know he went down early. We saw Safi just taking a time on him. Is he a bit like that? I mean, he's a sprinter, I know, but you just want to keep a lid on him?
Yeah, he's got 2 speeds, dead slow or dead fast.
Okay.
There's no in between.
And you're hoping for dead fast here. Am I right in feeling, saying that he hasn't always had luck perfectly on his side? I feel like a couple of races have just got away from him a touch.
Yeah, we were second, I think, 4 times in the summer, and he's due one of these. So hopefully today's the day.
Yeah, and he's been, people in the UK will recognise him from the, some of the top races, the top handicaps, etc. Back in the UK. Well, where do you feel he sort of fits in here?
I hope he takes a load of beating. You should ask Mick that question, but look, everything's in his favour today. Fast ground, trips right. Look, you never know, you travel a long way to be here, but we're very hopeful.
And it's just the nature of this race, 18 runners, the nature of the races he was competing in, Mick, back in the UK. The trouble is, the top sprints, they're just hard to win, aren't they? No matter, he's a very good horse, but they're not easy to win.
No, they're not easy. I mean, like, you get a different result every time, the same horses, and every time it's a different result. So you just got to have a look at the draw, really.
All right, great to have you here, Bill, Mick, good luck.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. And he's got him behind, so that's good news. I was worried he knew that the camera was on him, but all seems well, and we'll see how he gets on here. Right, Ali, what about the local challenge?
Well, we heard from some of the international connections. Let's now hear from one of the local trainers, Fauzi Nas. Fauzi, you guys did so well in the series last season, winning 6 of the 10 races. You got Fighter Pilot in this, running under trainer Shamal Haddad. You've only got the one horse in this race. Is this all you need?
Well, hopefully it's all we need, but obviously he's carrying top weight, and there's a lot of good horses carrying a lot less weight. We'll see.
Not unexpected, though, that the international contingent would be stronger this year, given what happened last year with you guys being so strong.
I think that was definitely expected.
But no doubt you guys were also getting your troops ready. Have you got a strong team of horses for the series this year?
I'd say so, yeah. I'd say so. But I'm not sure we'll catch that winner 20 minutes ago, but we'll try.
He was certainly impressive for George Baker. Good luck, rather, to Fauzi Nas, and good luck with Fighter Pilot and for the rest of the series.
Thank you very much, Alan.
There they are arriving down at the start. I mean, one thing we should touch upon is the draw here. They're going to be spread right across the width of the track, and where will it pay to be drawn? Obviously, limited evidence so far this season. Any of the sprints we had haven't been, Ali, quite this amount of runners. Do you have any sort of feeling what you saw last year, perhaps any of the bigger field sprints, as to where you might want to race, or not necessarily, Ali?
I don't think there's necessarily a draw bias on this track. It is obviously, as they say, just where the speed is, where the pace is. These horses are going to have to be electric out of the gates. The local horses know that. They've been the sprint races here are fast and furious. So I think that the internationally trained horses are coming here. They're the ones that really like those super fast conditions and have been running in big handicaps all season. You've got likes of Kings of Stars. He's been brilliant for connections, running all over the country. And Get It's another one who's been doing very well over these fast 5 furlong races. So I don't necessarily think that particularly the draw will make too much difference, but it's just having some fast horses around you.
Yeah, I thought one you mentioned there. I do think King of Stars must have a very good chance here. Competed at the very top end in the big handicaps last year in the UK. And the other obvious one is Nomadic Empire, who must have plenty in his favour, because this is the sort of ground that the horse tends to want, 17. And he wasn't always the most fortunate in a very busy campaign last year in the top sprints. He can mix it up over 5 and 6. I think this will be just about spot on for him, and I think he'd have a pretty good chance. For Neil Callan, who absolutely flew out here last year.
Yeah, he did brilliantly, and he's possibly the #1 jockey for Al Mohammedia racing out here. So you'd like to think he perhaps had the choice of all the horses in those colours, and he's opted for Nomadic Empire. He was top jockey here last season. He's absolutely flying. He loves this place. We called him the pin-up boy of Bahrain. He loves these big races. He knows these horses well. and David Amir, I'm sure, has filled him in on Nomadic Empire. The other one I like of the local horses, though, is Instinctive Move for Paul Hannigan and Alan Smith. He's had 5 runs in Bahrain. He's won 3 of them. He's finished second in 2 of them. He's really a horse on the up. This 3-year-old by showcasing in the Al Adiat racing colours, familiar colours for viewers back in the UK. Got commissioning. Big hope for next season for His Highness Sheikh Issa. So Instinctive Move is also one I'd like to watch out for.
They've won the battle with Swindler, which is good news. That wasn't looking too easy. He's the horse that went down really early, and I wasn't sure whether the stalls handlers were going to come out on top there, but they have. So that is very good news. So the loading process well underway now. This is time for the second of the Turf Series races. Huge field here. 18 going forward, and we can head up with just the last few going forward for Darren to call them home. All yours, Darren.
Thanks, Tom. Yes, loading up process well underway. Swindler made life difficult for the team down there, but they wouldn't be defeated. Swindler's in the stalls for this, the Al Manama Cup, then the first of the sprints in the Turf Series for 2022-23. So we've got 18 runners across the track going down the straight, 1,000 metres, 5 furlongs if you prefer. Over on the far side there, notice 4-wheel drive just gone in. Here we go, Dandy is in, and the last ones have just slotted into place. Stand by, and they're off. 5 furlongs in front of them. Get It started awkwardly in the black and white jacket to the extreme right. Ekhtiar showing dash with Instinctive Move and 4-wheel drive. Digital is right there. Down the centre of the course is Swindler. Over on the far side, Nomadic Empire's chasing them up with Engezart, and to the near side group, King of Stars, Get It and Fighter Pilot are in that group, followed by Kunan. Back marker on the near side group is a Dynamic Force. 400 metres left to go. 4-wheel drive, Instinctive Move, Swindler, Digital, and Nomadic Empire. Down the centre is Tinar, King of Stars, Dark Shadow, and then Engezart in the blue jacket. They have 300 metres left to stride, and Instinctive Move has kicked for home, but Digital is on the case. And over on the far side, Nomadic Empire is trying to run on. That action unfolding a far side. Get It is best of those on the near side, and it is Nomadic Empire, Instinctive Move and Digital. Nomadic Empire has got there. Nomadic Empire has won it. Instinctive Move second place. Digital is in third, and they were followed home by Ocean Star. So action really unfolding over on the far side, and Nomadic Empire has won it for Neil Callan. Came out of stall number 2, but that speed was on the far side. Instinctive Move travelled really well for Paul Hannigan, but it was Nomadic Empire who just powered on to take the money in the closing stages. Nomadic Empire for David O'Mara and Neil Callan. So it's 2 wins for the visitors so far. Instinctive Move there in second place. Digital, a big run from Digital, and I'm sure the Roger Fell team will be really pleased with that horse's efforts. Back in fourth was Ocean Star, and Get It was best of those who raced on the near side, and perhaps he was so awkwardly into stride at Get It, but victory has gone the way of number 17, that is Nomadic Empire, a horse who didn't win a race in 2022 but has won in the past at 1,000 metres and 1,200 metres. Neil Callan, the Bahraini pin-up, has won it.
Well, far side and Nomadic Empire under the pin-up boy of Bahrain, as Ali was saying, Neil Callan. He's got the job done, and it just took him a while to really pick up the horse in front, but in the end, he's seen it out really well. And huge congratulations to David O'Mara. More international success for them. They won the international trophy last year, of course. And they've won races out in the Middle East before, out in Dubai. They've won this race now. And it's 2 to the international challengers. There's your encouragement to head out. And we pick up the head on. It was clear that the race had developed left of shot over towards the far side. Safety in numbers over there, and that's where the pace held up best. The likes of King of Stars, Kunan as well. Get It, just not ideally drawn given how it panned out, I don't think. And Neil Callan's rode a really quiet race, judged it perfectly, I think, to edge up that rail, and under a really strong drive, he saw it out best. Just the as the race developed, you could see him travelling oh so comfortably. This is what he wants. He does stay further, but this is what he wants. Quick ground, a strongly run 1,000 metres, strongly run 5, and that is notable success for Nomadic Empire, for Neil Callan, David O'Mara, Matt Ennis as well alongside the horse. He'll be delighted with that. He travels these horses out here for the yard. Well done to him. Puts in so much work with the horses. I think he's out here for a good month or so, mixing it up between Dubai and Bahrain. And more success for Neil Callan out in Bahrain as well. Wonder exactly what he thought. He's just debriefing with Matt Ennis there, you can see. And Nomadic Empire has come out on top. And we'll hopefully grab a word with Connections very shortly. Well done to Sheikh Sultan and Al Muhammadiyah Racing as well. They'll be absolutely delighted with that. They campaigned this horse in the UK, of course, and now come out to the homeland of Bahrain and got success in this Turf Series race. And he's a horse, given the rating, that depending on what the handicapper does with that, might just progress through the ranks here. That's the sort of race, big field, that really suits him, where he can just get settled in behind and then pick up late on. That's exactly what he's done. Well done to Neil. Neil and Matt Ennis posing for the photos, and Sheikh Sultan as well, waving up to the boxes. Al Muhammadiyah Racing, successful yet again in a big race. And Ali, your final thoughts. Great performance, great day for the internationals.
It certainly has been, Tom, as we can see the winner of our second Turf Series race behind us in the Al Muhammadiyah Racing colours, locally owned, but it very much has been a day for the international trainers. 2 races so far down in the Bahrain Turf Series and 2 victories for the international trainers. And attention now turns to our next Turf Series race. Thank you very much to Tom for joining me here, and I'll be back on the 30th of December for 2 more Turf Series races.
The result of the Al Manama Cup, the first Turf Series sprint race, has gone to number 17. That was Nomadic Empire. Second, number 7, Instinctive Move. Third, number 16, Digital. And the 4th horse home, number 2, Ocean Star. For the record, 5th was number 11, Get It. That's 17, 7, 16, 2, with number 11 in 5th place.
Well, delighted now to be joined by winning owner, His Highness Sheikh Sultan. I know how much the Turf Series means to you. You had enough winners in it last season. How pleased were you with Nomadic Empire today?
Yes, we are really pleased with him, and we thank David O'Mara. He did a great job and brought him to Bahrain, and we are happy. And he's a homebred. I bred him in Ireland, so that means a lot for us.
And you have, as I said, been very much focusing on the Turf Series. I saw you at the sales over the summer. I know it's 2 victories for international trainers today, but you'll be celebrating a bit of a local victory with this one. It's an important fixture for you.
Yes, we celebrate with the local trainer and with David, so we're happy. All of us are happy.
And how do you feel your team of horses is for this season generally?
The team, we bought nice horses, and just take us a little bit time to get them ready. So this horse, I took him to the sale, and I thought that we'll sell him this year. So after that, he didn't bought enough, so I said no. He goes to Bahrain, and hopefully he'll do the job there, and he did it.
He certainly has. Well done. Congratulations to His Highness Sheikh Sultan in those familiar Al Mohammedia racing colours. I'm sure we'll be seeing you later on in the series.
We want to thank also David and Jason, Kelly, all the team, and David O'Meara there, and Mr. Harper, everybody in the UK for winning Nomadic Empire, Derek Eiston, everybody. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you as well. There's His Highness Sheikh Sultan, who'll be making his way over to the trophy presentation shortly. So we come to the trophy presentation for the Al Manama Cup, sponsored by BBK. Dr. Adil Salim, General Manager of Retail Banking at BPK, kindly presenting the trophy to His Highness Sheikh Sultan bin Mohammed Al Khalifa, winning owner in those colours of Al Mohammedia Racing. Congratulations to all connected with Nomadic Empire, jockey Neil Callan, trainer David O'Meara, and a wonderful victory in the sprint race here this afternoon, the Al Manama Cup going to Nomadic Empire.
Coming up shortly, we've got race number 5. This is the Rashid Equestrian Horse Racing Club Cup for the locally bred thoroughbreds. 5 runners then to face the starter. Number 1 is Manama Girl, and Connor Beasley is aboard. Number 2, Living Art and Stefan Ladjaj. Number 3, Snake Eyes and Andrew Breslin. The 4 horse here is Sishan and Marcialis Juras. Now number 5, Campolina, is partnered by Rosie Jessup. 5 of them to go to post 2,200 metres, the journey.
Well, before we have a look at the horses then for our next race in the paddock, delighted to be joined by winning jockey Neil Callan, taking victory in that second Bahrain Turf Series race on Nomadic Empire, a horse that you knew when you were based over in the UK this summer.
Yeah, look, he actually deserved a nice pot because he's been running well all last season. I rode him at York. He flopped a bit early in the season, and then he kind of got his act together and he ran another good race, and he kind of got a little bit lost. So I don't know whether they're like small issues at home, but he just freshened him up, David, and then he sent him to the Portland, and I rode him there, and like he took me to the furlong pull on the bridle, and I thought, how far does he win? And he couldn't even get past the lead horse. And I think the important thing to him is that at this sort of distance, that the pace is endless from start to finish, and that's what they went today. They went hard from start to finish, and you know, he's always going to play his best card late, and you know, he duly obliged today, which is nice.
Which you know you're going to get that fast paced, especially with 18 runners in these competitive, with the going and everything out here. You knew the conditions would suit, and I'm sure you reported that to trainer to bring him out.
Well, I don't think I needed to tell David much. I think he's pretty on the button when it comes to bringing horses out here. He's come out and won the Bahrain Trophy last year. So, look, I always knew that the place was going to suit the horse, and he's come in fresh. His Highness Sheikh Sultan always picks the best ones from England that would suit here for these types of races. So, you know, it's a good team effort to choose these sort of horses to come for these races at this time. And it's not just me telling anybody. I just got to sit on them and point them in the right direction. So, good team effort.
Which you do you do pretty well, I have to say. But look, you kind of bridge both teams. You're here with Team Bahrain, riding for Sheikh Sultan. You know, you're very much with the Fawzi Nas stable, but you're also obviously based over in UK. In terms of the standard of the international competitors, the international raiders this season, do you think it has stepped up? Did it needed to step up from last season?
Yeah, I think it needed to step up. Like, I mean, good horses came last year, but I thought there were good horses that were probably at the peak of their rating. This year, the horses that have come out are probably slightly a better quality, younger and up and coming. And I think that was only the difference. As we saw in the first race, the George Baker horse, he won very impressively. My horse ran third. He's still a work in progress. So, but I think as the series progresses, I think it's going to even out. And I think it's good though for the internationals to come out and get some success, because it keeps them coming and it makes them more competitive, and which is what I like. So as long as we win some.
Which you have done, and it took a long time last season for the international competitors to get their first win, but they did it with race one here today. It's great that the series is back for another season, and I mean, you're going to be based here all winter?
Yeah, I'll be here for the rest of the winter. I'll go home and spend Christmas with my family, and then come back out. We've still got a few of the big races to come, Crown Prince Cup, King's Cup, and you know, all those races have added prize money, and these series races have added prize money. So the way it's going, it seems to be growing and growing and growing, and you know, I'm riding for a good team, so hopefully I can hang around, and the prize money keeps getting up.
Well done today.
Thank you, Ali.
Let's have a closer look at these 5 runners in our next race. It is for local bred, and some nice horses amongst this. It's a domestic grade 3 over 2,200 metres, and in your picture there is Manama Girl, who was the Oaks winner last season. Carries a 4.5 kilogram penalty for winning that Group 1. She was in fabulous form last year, and Connor Beasley takes the ride for Jabba Ramadan. And that is horse number 1, will take a lot of beating. That's Manama Girl.
Now this is a living art who did go out, then came back in kindly to meet up with his groom again, and is now going to head out properly, I think. Stefan Hajjaj on board for Hesham Al Haddad. Does tend to be mounted in the parade ring and then head down to the start, and that is exactly what's going to happen for this 2,200 metre race. Some of them just heading down right in front of the stands, and then they'll make their way back up to the starting gates. Just over 2 are left.
Horse number 3 making his debut today is Snake Eyes for trainer Jalil Al-Mala. Andrew Breslin takes the ride on this. Let's see what this one makes of his racecourse debut.
Zishan's just headed right in front of the stands, just cantering down towards the start. Thought he moved nicely, this horse, for Michaelis Joras and Bassem Mardi. And the performances this season have sort of steadily improved. Certainly last time, when not beaten too far. That was over 2,000 metres, and improvement has come with the horse stepping up in distance. So you'd hope that the 2-2 will suit.
And our final one then is Campolina for Jaffa Raddy, and this horse built up a really good relationship with jockey Rosie Jessup. She's riding it again today, and Campolina's clocked up 6 wins for Connections. Always runs well, and although needs to bounce back after her previous starts this season, but generally puts in a good show. That is horse number 5 at Campolina.
There's, we've just seen Snake Eyes canter down right in front of us, down towards the start. You can see where they start here, Ali, is right on the outer course, so they can go in as much of a straightish line as possible into that first top bend. And then they'll make their way around over the 2,200 metres. Nice wind behind them down the back, and then they're running into it again as they come up the home straight. Just a chance, I guess, for us to just reflect on the 2 races for the Turf Series we've seen. I love the idea that last year it was all about the local horses, and now the locals are probably thinking, whew, hang on, we might be up against it.
Yeah, absolutely. I said to you, we waited right till the final fixture to get a international trained winner, and then they did it. And such impressive style, that the first winner, Lycander. George Baker was here last season. He's actually quite a regular out here. He knows the type of horse, and I think he went shopping this summer and he knew exactly what sort of type to select for conditions out here.
So if that now, the manner of that performance counts him out handicap-wise of the Turf Series, there are still the local high-end races on his agenda, right? The King's Cup would be?
There's also a conditions race within the Turf Series, which he might be able to run in. And then you're looking at the Crown Prince's Cup and the King's Cup, which is next year, sort of in
Sure.
February and March. And those are actually international listed races. So if you go out of the handicap in the Turf Series, there are still some big prizes, big pots to be won later in the season.
All right, loading process well underway. Last couple going forward. Just the 5-runner field here for Darren Owen to call home.
Thanks, Tom. All in for this domestic Grade 3. And they're off, and a very sleepy start by the newcomer Snake Eyes. Lost many lengths for this, the Rashid Equestrian and Horse Racing Club Cup. 2,200 metres the journey. They go around the first turn, form their early order, and it is Campolina who disputes the lead with Living Art going down the side of the course. Those two are a couple of lengths in advance of Manama Girl. Snake Eyes has caught them up, and last of all is C Charm. So they're edging ever closer to the back straight, and it is Campolina the leader, with Snake Eyes now moving along the outside, 3 wide, going into that bend, and it is Snake Eyes getting the hang of things, moves on by about 2 lengths to Campolina and Living Art. Manama Girl in the yellow jacket just in behind them, with C. Shan last of all. They move on down the far side and head now towards the last of 1,400 metres of their journey, and it is Snake Eyes and Andrew Breslin in front with the big white face, being followed by Campolina. Just in behind those is Living Art in the green and brown jacket, with Manama Girl, the Oaks winner, next, and last of all is C. Sharp. They're approaching the end of the back straight with Snake Eyes in front. So from last to first, through the first, 400 metres or so, this horse, Snake Eyes in front by just over a length to the parked out Campolina. Living Art in third. Manama Girl and Sishan are following with 800 to go. Coming on down the side of the track, and it's still Snake Eyes who has the advantage. It's a length and a half. Campolina is parked out and will face the breeze. It's probably more than the breeze as they come down the home straight. Living Art just in behind behind them, then Manama Girl, and last of all is Sishan. They're about to flatten out for the judge with 600 to go, and it's Snake Eyes still in front by just over a length as Living Art wrestles back second position, and heading down the straight, down the outside is Campolina. Manama Girl now being produced by Connor Beasley just in behind them, but Living Art had first run inside the final 400, and now the duel's on between Living Art and Manama Girl. Manama Girl just wandering around a little bit as pressure is applied. It's Living Art who's proving hard to pass. 200 to go, and Living Art is not for stopping. Living Art by a few lengths, Manama Girl second. They've had a private duel down the straight. They're miles clear of the others with Sishan moving into third, but this will go impressively to Living Art. Living Art is the winner. Manama Girl on her seasonal debut in second place, Sishan in third, followed home by Campolina and Snake Eyes. So Living Art is the impressive winner, and Living Art has backed up that last win, so 2 from 2 this season. Living Art taking this domestic Grade 3, the Rashid Equestrian and Horse Racing Club Cup, in the hands of Stefan Lajaj, and Living Art, well, would not be passed. Manama Girl tried, wandered around when coming under pressure, but Living Art went clear and has won, eased down in at the end. And that was really impressive. 2 from 2 this season now for Living Art.
Yeah, he's too good, this horse, far too good. They manage him well because, you know, he's not the easiest necessarily. He's a horse that gets mounted in the pre-parade ring and then heads out early. But the rider knows him very well. I think that's key to him. Was on board last time for that success. And actually Neil Callum rode him when he was second in the King's Cup last year. But he had such good form out here last year, and this 6-year-old is progressing really nicely. Stefan always had him in a nice position to challenge. I know it's not the biggest field, but he had him exactly where he wanted him, and then he said go, and the horse has absolutely taken off. No doubt he will head back to the similar sort of back end of season races that he contested last year. No reason why he can't make his presence felt right at the very top level. A really good reappearance, followed by this group success, and he can mix it up as well distance-wise. 2400 seemed all right last year, won over 1800 on his reappearance, 2200 here fine. So between 18 and 2400, 9 furlongs and a mile and a half. He's a class act as far as the locally bred horses go. Living Art has won for Hesham Al Haddad and Stefan Lajaj.
And let's have a word with our winning jockey then, Stefan. Stefan, you were on board this horse when he last won just middle of November. He's a class horse, isn't he? One of the best here in the local breds.
Yeah, absolutely. You know his job. He was the best in this field last time also. But he do it in style, and it's good to have kind of race like this for his mind. And hopefully he will be stronger when we will have a serious competitor.
Because there's some big prizes to be won with him this season.
Yeah, hopefully. I don't know exactly what's the plan of the boss, but I'm sure he planned something good.
And how much are you enjoying your time over here with the Fawzina stable?
Oh, I enjoy. I think I ride my first winner for Fawzi 15 or 16 years ago, so we know each other very well, and it's always a pleasure to work for this team.
Well, a long and successful association. Congratulations then to our winning jockey, Stefan Lajaj, on Living Art for Hisham Al Haddad in the colours of Abdullah Saminas.
Yeah, great performance from horse and rider. I'm going to call him Stefan the Judge. Great ride, and he's won for Hesham Al Haddad. Welcome back into the winner's enclosure, Living Art.
So the result of the Rashid Equestrian Horse Racing Club Cup Domestic Grade 3. Victory goes impressively to number 2, Living Art. Second was number 1, Mana Miguel. Third, number 4, C. Sean. And fourth, number 5, Campolina. The distances, 8.5 lengths and the same. 8.5 lengths and the same. Very, very impressive and wide margin winner there. Wide margins covering the first few horses home. The time of the winner, 1 minute 51.74. 1 minute 51.74.
So we come to the trophy presentation of our fifth race, the Rashid Equestrian and Horse Racing Club Cup, and delighted to welcome Sheikh Salman bin Rashid Al Khalifa, Regulatory Affairs Executive Director at the club, to present the trophy to winning connections of Living Art. Hugely impressive. Well done to winning owner Abdullah Sami Nas. Also there, Abdullah Fawzi Nas, representing winning trainer Hisham Al Haddad, winning jockey Stefan Ladaj. Also there, well done to all connections and Living Art winning our fifth race, the Rashid Equestrian and Horse Racing Club Cup.
We're an island. We've been a trading nation for centuries.
There's a strange feeling the minute we land into Bahrain, and honestly, it's the feeling of openness that makes everybody comfortable.
We have world-class infrastructure, a great geographical location.
We have low operating costs, zero corporate tax, and we allow for more businesses to have 100% foreign ownership.
Come to Bahrain and use it as a regional hub to take your product to the next level.
People of this country are its secret weapon. Capital is available everywhere in the world. Technology is mobile, but people really are the differentiating factor.
You have to come visit Bahrain to really understand the friendliness of the people and the friendliness of the location to the business.
Coming up, we've got race number 6, and this is a domestic Grade 2 contest, the Rashid Equestrian and Horse Racing Club Cup. It's over 1,200 metres, but this is on the round course. Let's have a look at the field. Number 1 is Shamik, and Marcial Jores takes the ride. Number 2 is John Dunn and Hussein Asghar. 3, Mudalal and Neil Callan. 4, Kamari and Alberto Sana. 5, Racine, Andrea Zini. Number 6, Kazama and Ibrahim Nada. Number 7 is Mediterranean Moon. Edinson Rodriguez and Alan Smith teaming up, looking for a double on the day. Domestic Grade 2 coming up. It's a sprint, but it's on the round course. 1,200 metres in front of this field of 7.
Big crowd here this afternoon. Tom, you've been down to the Turf Village. You've got what, Skittles, art. What else is going on down there?
Oh, plenty. You can play lots of games. You can try lots of local food, some coffee down there as well, and a bit of Jenga. Yeah, really good family environment down there. I think it's a great addition to the scene this year.
And the horses then, as you can see in the parade ring for our 6th race, this is a Rashid Equestrian Horse Racing Club Cup over 1,200 metres, another domestic Grade 2. And we've got the 7 runners then. Let's have a whiz through them. Horse number 1, an 8-time winner. This is Shamika, and he's an 11-year-old. He's been there and done that, and he is having his first run of the season. There are a number of runners in this that have had some wins already this season, but Shamika's looking for his first on his debut of the season. As I said, an 11-year-old. Horse number 1, Shamika.
And just 7 years younger is horse number 2. In fact, all the rest of them are. John Dunn, first of the 4-year-olds for Hussein Asghar and Mubarak. And this horse having a first go of things out here. He's just on his toes slightly, this son of Blue Snake. He's giving his handler a bit to think about. Windy day it is, but he's nearly right up the back of Shamika. John Dunn will come out of stall number 6.
Horse number 3 then, Madalal, in the colours of Al Mohammedia Racing. Neil Callan then partnering up, same connections as winner with the 2nd Bahrain Turf Series race. And this one finished behind Mediterranean Moon when we last saw him on the 12th of November. 5 lengths behind Mediterranean Moon. So looking to reverse placings today. Then Neil Callan riding for Hesham Al Haddad. Number 3, Madadal.
4 is Kamari, another grey here. Kamari's got the blinkers on. They've been on the last couple of starts, and they've brought about improvement on those efforts. Certainly for the effort, 2nd start this season, when a pretty comfortable success over 1,200. And then back that up with a good effort last time as well in a better race. Alberto Sana rides for Mohammed Hassan.
Horse 5, Racine, is one of 3 horses in this race who come into this race with off the back of a win. This one won back at the end of November with Abdullah Faisal on board. That was over 5 furlongs, so stepping up in trip today. And Andrea Atzini takes the ride on Racine, riding for Hadi Ibrahim. So he comes into this race in fine form. That's horse number 5, Racine.
There is 6, Kazama. She is daughter of Blue Ksar. Ibrahim Nada rides, looking for his 2nd success of the afternoon, won the opening race. Haida Ibrahim is the trainer, and she's been in good nick over the 1,000 and over this course and distance when successful last time. She'll be looking to go in again, will Kazama, and in against the boys. She's by no means the smallest. She's looking a little bit lively, but she is a sprinter. She looks well.
And finally, Mediterranean Moon is horse number 7. Edison Rodriguez rides for Alan Smith. They've already had a winner already this afternoon, and this horse comes into this race in fine form as well, having won last time. 5-length winner over Mudalal, who also runs in this race. So Mediterranean Moon, it's certainly one to beat. The Chestnut filly by See the Moon, ridden this afternoon by Edison Rodriguez. That's horse number 7.
So the runners are about to step out onto the course for our 6th race. Over 1,200 metres, it's a domestic Grade 2, Rashid Equestrian Horse Racing Club Cup, and Shamika number 1 is out on the track. Shamika in the maroon with the yellow epaulets and the yellow cap. White with the red stripe and sleeves, debutant John Dunn. Hussein Askar takes the mount. That's John Dunn, number 2. The grey in the red with the black chevron, that was Kamari. This is Mudalal, number 3. Mudalal and Neil Callan. As the white cap, white sleeves, the maroon jacket of Al Mohammadiyah Racing. Second last time over the straight 1,000. That's Mudalal and Neil Callan. And Kamari, the grey and the red with the black chevron and sleeves, colours of Al Afu Racing. A winner earlier on this season in early November. Kamari. Number 5, Racine. Racine has the black cap. Andrea Zini is in the saddle. Another horse who has got a win on the board already. This 22-23 season, Racine has the black cap with the blue chevron colours. And Kazama, the stable companion, Kazama has the blue cap. Colours of His Highness Sheikh Hamad bin Abdullah bin Isa Al Khalifa, and Ibrahim Nada looking for his second winner of the day. Takes the ride aboard Kazama, number 6, and in the red and white halves, Mediterranean Moon for Alan Smith and Edison Rodriguez. Colours of M&D Racing. Horse who won about a month ago. That's Mediterranean Moon. Has the red and white halved jacket with the quartered cap. So runners are about to arrive at the start. So this is a sprint, but we're on the round course, not the straight 1,200. So they've got that run of about 200 metres or so before they get to the first turn. It's around about 300 metres to be fair to that bend. So runners now arriving at the start for race 6.
Thanks again to everyone for turning out tonight, or this afternoon, into the early evening for the racing. Been a really good turnout. Hope you've enjoyed the turf series and the local races as well. And certainly the conditions more manageable than the last time I was here a couple of weeks ago. It was very warm then, lovely now, bit of a wind, and that turf village has really filled up. So glad you're all enjoying that. Oh, different reaction there. Yes. Good stuff. You'll get used to that. We'll find you plenty of times. Good viewing platform here as well. It's great, you can see right around the track. And right over to where the starting stalls are, far right of where we're looking onto the course. Pretty swiftly into the bend, over the 1200. And this is a tight little heat here as far as the ratings go. Mediterranean Moon, well, she's very much on the up, rated 65, 69. Kazama, they carry the same weight. Here, these 4-year-old fillies, getting a couple of kilos from the colts and geldings. But there's a few in form here. Not easy to call this one. And we'll see how the unknown quantity John Dunn gets on as well, who's just going in behind, will come out of stall number 6. I think Kazama and Ibrahim Nada will be looking to make use of that draw in 1. Maybe just get out and stay there. Might be one of the later ones to go forward. But both she and Mediterranean Moon, the horses in form. Rasen as well with that success over the 1,000 last time, stepping up in distance. So there's a few that know how to win here for this domestic Grade 2. And we're not too far away from post time, so the loading process is going to start pretty soon, about a minute or so away from post time. There's Rasen and Andrea Razzani, who was sat pretty still on board Rasen. Both he and actually in the main Kazama have proven a bit lively, I think it's fair to say, but they're sprinters. You don't mind to see that too much. That's a good shot of where they are behind the stalls and just about ready to go in. It's good that got the ability here to have sprint races on the round and the straight course. I don't always see that on turf tracks around the world, but it's good you can have a 1200 on the round course out on the straight course here. And we'll see who comes out on top of this 7-runner field with Darren Owen.
Thanks, Tom. So runners then going into the starting stalls for this domestic Grade 2 race. Watching Racine going into the stalls there with the blue cap, black cap, the blue cap of Kazama, red and white half colours of Mediterranean Moon. Mediterranean Moon and Edinson Rodriguez. And still out of line is Kamari. So the last one's going into the stalls, that's Kamari. All in. And they're off. And a good start there for Racine in the centre with Shamik showing up prominently. And on the outside of those, Kamari steps forward. Right at the back, John Dunn, the debutant, really green, being bustled along to get going. So going into the first bend, it's Kamari in front. Leads by about 3 lengths, being followed by Racine with Kazama in behind in third place. Shamik caught on the outside of Mediterranean Moon and Mudalal. The back marker is John Dunn. They're on the side of the track with 600 or so still to go, about to turn in. Kamari's in front from Racine and Kazama against the fence. White cap of Mudalal now being pushed along. Shamik is to the wide outside. Mediterranean Moon's looking for a way through over on the far running rail. John Dunn at the back of the field and really struggling. Less than 400 to go, and it's Kamari the leader from Racine, Kazama, and Mediterranean Moon needs to step up on the wide outside. Mudalal trying to go forward inside the final 200 now, and it's Kazama with Mediterranean Moon getting a nice split on the far side, and Mudalal really running on strongly for pressure, and it's Kazama in front by just over a length. Mudalal comes home well, but this will go to Kazama. Kazama the winner. Close second place between Mudalal and Mediterranean Moon. Kamari crossed the line with Racine. They're clear of Shamik and John Dunn, who was as green as grass. So Kazama has won it. Kazama, number 6 on the card for Ibrahim Nada, double for Ibrahim this afternoon, and Kazama has been in really good form, completing a hat-trick of wins now, this filly, and they're doing it really well. Mediterranean Moon tried to find top stride over on the far running rail, but could never get to Kazama. Mudalal has come on really well for Neil Callan, but Kazama completes a hat-trick. Kazama the winner. Looks as though on that evidence Mudalal may have just taken second from Mediterranean Moon, with Racine just in behind. But this filly certainly in good form, Kazama.
Yeah, I thought Ibrahim Nada got that absolutely spot on, challenging from a similar position than Mediterranean Moon, who I think was unlucky as the race started to develop. That said, she wasn't necessarily making up too much ground on Kazama late on. And this filly has won again. She's progressing really nicely. That's adding to that success in the Grade 3 last time. She stepped up to this domestic Grade 2 off the back of the win at the very start of the year, both from Toulouse-de-Plot. And yeah, she's a real force now. Just, well, a rising 5-year-old. She takes a bit of knowing and a bit of settling, definitely. She was very lively in the prelims, but she settled nicely into the race, and she's got a good bit of class and saw that out well to score. Mediterranean Moon, as I said, just had to wait, and I think at a crucial stage, but I don't want to say that cost her anything because she just flattened out a little bit late on. Kamari was the one that had taken them along, and I think given them a good pace to chase as well. That's probably suited this filly. You'll see that Ibrahim just had her tucked in behind there. Mediterranean Moon goes for the inside. There's no real room, but a nice bit of race riding, I thought, from Ibrahim Nada at that point to make sure Mediterranean Moon didn't have an obvious out, and his filly had clear daylight to aim at. Rasen edges out to his left at that point. That forces Mudalal a little bit wider probably than ideal. The disappointment was John Dunn in the race, who never really featured, having been slowly away. And Shamik as well just found that a little bit too tough. Good day for Ibrahim Nada. Double for him. Here's Ali.
Congratulations, Ibrahim. Smiles all round. This one means a lot to you. Nice horse.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I would like to thank the connections that give me the ride, His Highness Sheikh Abdullah and the trainer Muhammad and Haidar. So she's a good filly and she won 3 on a row this year. She's a champion, I think.
This her third win on the trot, but she had to work hard for it today and dig in deep.
Yeah, that was her biggest test today and she's done it.
She certainly has. And congratulations to you then. A double for top jockey Ibrahim Nada. Well done. 2 connections of our winner of our 6th race, Kazama.
Yeah, great stuff for Ibrahim Nada. Well done to the winning trainer of Kazama, Haida Ibrahim, and welcome her back into the winner's enclosure. That's a hat-trick up this season for number 6, Kazama.
The result of race 6, the domestic grade 2, the Rashid Equestrian Horse Racing Club Cup. First at number 6, Kazama. Second, number 3, Mudalal. Third, number 7, Mediterranean Moon. And the 4th horse home was number 5, Racine. The distance is 1 length and a neck, 1 length and a neck. And the official time of the winning horse, 1 minute, 12.05 seconds. 1 minute, 12.05 seconds. Kazama, the winner of race 6.
Well, delighted to be joined by winning trainer Hadi Ibrahim's son, Mohammed Ibrahim, who's representing his father. Kazim has been a real star for your stable, hasn't she?
Yeah, she approved that since last time. She runs twice this year over 5 furlong and 6 furlong straight. It was a tough race for her today, but she shows different ability again. We hope that she continues this work for us for this season at all.
Do you feel that today was her best victory?
Yeah, I think we're going to step her up again in 7 furlong next time. She shows a good race today, good ability, so we hope big with her this year.
What will be the prizes that you'll be trying to aim her at this season?
Actually, we're waiting for, let's see what's going to happen with her. I think stepping her up is a good choice for this year. And we hope that she goes maybe for the Oaks this year.
Oaks for Kazima, and Ibrahim Nada did a great job as well, didn't he?
Yeah, this is the second one for Ibrahim with the Khuzama. The last one was with Abdullah, but because he's suspended this week.
Well, he certainly stepped in very well, Ibrahim Nada, winning jockey. Congratulations then, Mohammed. Thanks for talking to us, and good luck with the rest of the season with this.
Thank you so much.
Trophy presentation time for this 6th race, the Rashid Equestrian Horse Racing Club Cup for the local bred, a domestic grade 2, and presenting the trophy, Yusuf Bathij, Operations Executive Director here at the club, presenting the trophy to the connections of Kazama, Ibrahim Nada, winning jockey, Hada Ibrahim and his son Mohammed receiving that trophy from Yusuf. Well done to our winner of our 6th race, Kazima.
Seventh race on today's card is for the imported thoroughbreds for maidens, and let's have a look at it. This is the Irish Thoroughbred Marketing Cup. It's over 1400 metres. Number 1 is Endifar, and Ibrahim Nada, man of the moment, looking for his 3rd winner of the day. Number 2 is Altai and Marcialis Jures. Number 3 is DM and Stefan Lajaj. Number 4, Roosevelt's Grit and Andrew Breslin. 5, Hawal and Rosie Jessup takes the ride. 6, Turner, Robert Tart, and 7, Suad, Connor Beasley. 8, Rising Moon and Jerome Moutard. 8 runners to go to post. 1400 metres the journey for race 7.
Let's have a look at the horses then for our penultimate race. This one over 1400 metres for maidens, imported horses. And there is horse number 1, Endifa. Ibrahim Nada, winning jockey, rides this one. Yusuf Taha, the trainer, stepping down in trip, having his 3rd run in Bahrain. That is horse number 1, Endifa.
Next up, horse 3, which is Diem, Stefan Lajaj. Looking for a double, Ramzi Al-Baklawa. And another horse having his third start out here, still entire, this son of Acclamation. Made the debut over 1200, then another go over that distance, stepping up in chip. That needs to bring about a bit of improvement, but it might well.
Horse for Roosevelt's Grit. Andrew Breslin takes the ride on this for Jalil Al-Mala. A horse who we've seen a couple of times this season. Last finishing in behind Jamaiz Aziz on the 12th of November. But Andrew Breslin back in the saddle on this horse. That's horse number 4, Roosevelt's Grit.
Right, that's Altai. Michaela Shores rides for Osama Hashim. 3 starts out here so far. 1 at the back end of last year and then 2 so far this year, both over the 1,000. Stepping up in distance is a gelded son of Territories. I mean, I think on pedigree and previous efforts, there's every chance that stepping up to the 1,400 will bring about a little bit of improvement, but it probably needs to.
Horse 6 then, Turner, Kodiak Bear filly, highest rated horse in this race, having her first run of the season. Robert Tart rides for Talib Ali. That's horse number 6, Turner.
Here is horse 7, and that is Suad. Connor Beasley rides for Abdullah Kuwaiti. Connor and Suad will be coming out of stall number 3. Mixed it up distance-wise. Well, they did last time. That was at the back end of last year. Over the 1,800 metres, now dropping back in distance. There was promise previous to that, certainly on the start on the 11th of February over this distance.
And horse 8 in the red hood, Rising Moon for trainer Abdullah Kuwaiti. Jerome Moutard takes the ride on this one. He's having his 3rd start this season. Jerome's been in the saddle for all the 2 previous starts, last seen finishing 4th behind Son of Normandy back on the 25th of November. So horse 8 is an Ortard filly, Rising Moon.
The only one we owe you is Hual, who is mounted in the pre-parade ring, I believe, and will therefore be heading straight out. No eyes on just yet. We will let you know. Rosie Jessop's set to ride. Well, the winner of the race 2 starts ago was Living Art, who was mounted in the pre-parade ring, and the rider, Stefan the judge, knew that horse well. Well, similar here with Rosie Jessup on board. Well, knows the horse well. He's mounted in the pre-parade ring and then heading out, we'll head straight out towards the start. Rosie was on board last time for this horse's run when 4th. That was over this distance, and he's typically grey son of Outstrip. He's just got a touch warm, you can see, under the saddle, but looks okay, and he'll head straight out to the 1,400 metre start, having a 3rd go over 1,400 metres.
So the runners now stepping out onto the turf for race 7. It's a maiden for the imported thoroughbreds, the Irish Thoroughbred Marketing Cup. 8 of them going 1,400 metres. Just coming out onto the course now is Endifar. And Ibrahim Nada looking for his 3rd winner of the day. He's aboard Endifar, so it runs in the grey silks. Black and white jacket there of Roosevelt's Grit. Andrew Breslin in the saddle. The black with the white hooped sleeves. That's number 4, Roosevelt's Grit. And the other 2 in shot. Number 6, Turner, who's got the white with the purple epaulettes and hooped sleeves. Robert Tart is in the saddle, and Suwad, number 7, and Connor Beasley in the all-blue silks, dark blue jacket. Suwad running for the first time this season. White cap, white sleeves there, Altai, number 2, and Marcellus Jures aboard in the colours of Al Mohammediyya Racing. That is Altai, number 2, who ran just a week ago. So first them getting down to the start, Turner, Roosevelt's Grit and Suwad already arrived at the start. Number 3, Dayem in the blue jacket with a white star. And Stefan Ladjaj is aboard Dayem. He's had 2 starts already this term. That's the blue with the white star, and Endifar in the grey with the black stripe, Endifar. Number 1. There's number 8, Rising Moon in shot. Rising Moon in the royal blue colours with the white striped sleeves was 4th a few weeks ago. And Jerome Moutard is in the saddle. Hual has arrived at the start there, the grey and the blue and white checks. Rosie Jessup aboard number 5, Hual. So 8 of them just getting down to the start for race 7. Race for the maiden thoroughbreds, the Irish Thoroughbred Marketing Cup, to be run over 1,400 metres.
So the 8 runners then circling behind the stalls. I'll be starting the loading up process. This for maiden imported horses. And Tom, I like the, well, I guess the top 2, Endifar and Altai are obvious, but Turner might be an interesting one as well, having her first run of the season, very well rated. Robert Tart takes the ride on her. What about you?
Nicely bred horses, aren't there?
Yeah.
Some nice looking animals in here as well. You know, we know that Endifar has ability, and there's some interesting 3-year-olds in there as well. I thought there's every chance Suwad could improve on what she's achieved so far, particularly if the drop back in distance suits. Not quite sure she appreciated the 1800 last time. Hawala got a little bit warm, but he's obviously not the easiest. Has a little bit to find on ratings, but Endifar just about clear from Altai as well, who's clearly got a good bit of ability.
Ibrahim Nada looking for his 3rd win today.
Great day for him.
Yeah.
To you know, on a big day to ride a double like this.
Yeah, he's one of the leading up-and-coming jockeys here. I mean, he's really breaking into the top ranks. He spent the summer with Andrew Balding at Kingsclear and very highly rated over there. And I think he'll be heading back to UK shores next summer as well.
It's a pretty good place to be, isn't it? So over at Andrews. So I'm sure he'll have a great time of it over there. Also good on, you know, one of the domestic races, if you like, for all their for imported horses, to have Irish Thoroughbred Marketing supporting. And I think it's a competitive contest, this 8-runner field. Not one I could call very easily anyway.
As the sun going down, still plenty of people here, good atmosphere, and Tom, as we stand here, the racecourse is surrounded by desert, and there's a sort of few hills coming into the racecourse. And what's great that the locals enjoy their barbecue and enjoy watching the racing from a distance.
I'm yet to do one of those local barbecues.
Well, if anyone can hear us out there, yeah.
But it's a good viewing track as well. The fact that you can see right the way around. Obviously, the giant screen helps, but you got a good view of the whole circuit. Obviously, Darren's got the best view in the house, but you can see right the way around, and I think it's ridden a pretty fair track tonight as well. You've been able to, if they've gone hard, you've been able to come from off it. If they haven't gone too hard on the front end, the pace has held up pretty well. But by and large, reports are, the track ever since the international horses started coming out here, everyone's been very positive about the track, the surface, the conditions.
Yeah, Neil Mackenzie Ross does a good job out here. He's got the 2 turf tracks, which he sort of alternates throughout the season because they race weekly, often twice weekly. So it gets plenty of use, and then they've got a brand new training track on the inside, Martin Collins training track, which, as you say, all of the internationals have reported to be fantastic addition this year. The facilities are top-notch. They've really tried to focus on those.
We were just reflecting there on the second winner of the Turf Series race. I felt that as a real success for the internationals. the owner might disagree.
Yeah. Owned by His Highness Sheikh Sultan.
But I think that's quite good. That's a great mixture.
Yeah, I agree. Ridden by Neil Callan, who's sitting on both teams, as I said to him. He's very much Team Bahrain, but obviously rode the horse in the UK, based in the UK and over the summer.
So loading process is well underway. 8-runner field here for this 405. It's our penultimate race. Irish Thoroughbred Marketing Cup for these maidens. Mixture of 3- and 4-year-olds. Darren Owen, call them home.
Thanks, Tom. Yes, the last ones are about to move into place, and Suad will complete the lineup at the 1400-metre start. Race 7, maidens, all in. They're off. Suad began well with Dayem racing prominently. Rising Moon is the one closest to the running rail. Black Jacket in the centre. Roosevelt's Grit, and from a wide berth, Turner steps forward. It's Turner now moving on from Dayem and Roosevelt's Grit with Endifar just off the leaders. Then Suad, Rising Moon, further back to Altai and the back markers Hual as they now leave the back straight behind them. Around 800 metres still to go, or just over, and the leader is Turner. Turner by a good couple of lengths from Dayem in second place, a length and a half away to Roosevelt's Grit in third, and then going the shortest way is Suad in the dark blue jacket. Endifar is next, followed by the grey Hual. White cap of Altai is sitting second last, and the back marker is Rising Moon is under the pump as Turner tries to get away, and Turner gets away at the top of the straight. Less than 600 to go, and Turner has slipped this field by some 6 lengths. Roosevelt's Grit and Dayem dispute second place. Just in behind of those is Suad, who now has to angle for a run. Endifar is following. Then Hual further back to Altai. The back marker is Rising Moon. The question now is Turner starting to tread water, heading down towards the last 200 metres. It's Turner in front, but Turner now collared quickly by Endifar to the outside, and Endifar goes for home and quickly is going to put this race to bed. And it's been a great day for Ibrahim Nada. That's a third success on the card. Endifar pushed out, wins going away. Race for places. Altai for second place. Suad in third, followed home then by Roosevelt's Grit, Hual, Rising Moon, Dayem, and Turner is last to clock in. So Endifar has gone on to win. Number 1, Endifar. And Ibrahim Nada strikes again. That's 3 winners on the card. Didn't look likely turning into the straight. There was one horse who went clear, and that was Turner. But Turner started to run on empty going to the last 200 metres. And Endifar has been pushed out to win convincingly there. Endifar, number 1, the winner. Number 2, Altai in second place. Number 7, Suad in third, followed by Roosevelt's Grit, number 4, in fourth position.
Well, what a day for the young rider, Ibrahim Nada. He's got that absolutely spot on. That said, the horse has fairly bolted up this gelded son of Muharrar. Impressive, that was. I mean, had shown a good bit of promise. Was top-rated bar Turner, who was disappointing. But a great day for the rider. One for Yusuf Tahir here. And I think he probably felt as though he was going to win for much of the race. You can see him just on the outside here, starting to challenge. Long-time leader starts to come back to them. And this is where Endifar really starts to make up ground. Just off that rail. Quite a bit off that rail in the end. But gallops on stoutly. He's a strong stayer at the trip. Muharrar tends to put a lot of stamina into these horses. For all he gets winners from 6 or 7 upwards. By and large, they are coming into their own over a little bit further. That said, this horse has dropped back from 2,400 and 2,000 metres to score over 1,400. Easily as well. 3 fingers up for the 3 wins for Ibrahim Nada. And a huge well done to him. Won our opening race for Yusuf Al-Bunain. That was on Al-Saklawi. And he's scored here on Endifar. And that adds to the Kazama success. She looked a really smart filly, didn't she? That was for Haider Ibrahim. And a third different trainer he's ridden the winner for tonight, Yusuf Taha. Well done to Ibrahim Nada. He's with Ali.
3 wins, Ibrahim. It's turning into a pretty good day in the office for you, but just how easy was that one?
Yeah, this horse is a long-distance horse. Last week he ran over 10 furlongs, and today we see him over the 7 furlongs. Today, the trainer, I think he kept on hitting tight, and I think that helped him a lot.
It was all happening in the right places for him throughout the race, nicely placed, all panned out well.
Yeah, my order was to go at the front, first, second, but the pace was so fast and that helped him so good. And when I asked him at the straight, he gave me a good 10 foot and he won.
And just how good a day is it for you winning these 3 races on a big, important fixture here?
Yeah, it's good to win on this day because everyone is watching over the world. So I'm so happy and I'm looking forward to have more winners. So thanks to all the connection that I won for them today, and hopefully I get more good rides.
Well, I'm sure you will. Congratulations then. Ibrahim winning 3 races today. He certainly is a star on the rise. Well done to winning jockey Ibrahim Nada on Endifar.
Here he comes back into the winner's enclosure. Show him your appreciation, horse and rider. This is Endifar, ridden by Ibrahim Nada.
Result of race 7, the Irish Thoroughbred Marketing Cup for the imported maiden thoroughbreds. First, number 1, Endifar. Second, number 2, Altai. Third, number 7, Suwad. And the 4th horse home was number 4, Roosevelt's Grit. The distance is 7.5 lengths and half a length. 7.5 lengths and half a length. And the official time of the winning horse there, 1 minute 25.60. 1 minute 25.60. An impressive winner there for the 7th race of the day, with Endifar getting off the mark, breaking his duck this afternoon in impressive style in the hands of Ibrahim Nada.
So we come to the trophy presentation for the first of two Irish Thoroughbred Marketing Company sponsored races. Jeremy Green from the company then presenting the trophy for race 7. Well done to Connections of Endifar. Brilliant ride by Ibrahim Nada. Hassan Al-Ajimi, winning owner, receiving the trophy. Also their winning trainer, Yusuf Taha. A wonderful victory then. Endifar winning the Irish Thoroughbred Marketing Cup, race 7.
So coming up, the final race of the day, race 8, the Irish Thoroughbred Marketing Cup for the apprentice jockeys riding the imported thoroughbreds in this handicap. Let's have a look at the field. Number 1 is Mission Boy and Abbas Ibrahim. Number 2, Chimgan and Ali Hussein. 3, 9 Below Zero and Salah Isa. Number 4, Notions and Ahmed Maki. Number 5, Ewan Prince, Ali Musa. Number 6 is Modwin and Abdullah Al-Hawaj. 7 is Mehab and Hassan Ali. 8 Inveigle, Hussein Asghar. Number 9 Alabra and Mohammed Jamil. 10 Harlik, and Harlik is partnered by Ali Sabri. Note the non-runner, scratch number 11, Jameh Azez. Number 12 is Joe's Spirit and Mohammed Reda. And number 13, Suspect Package, Hassan Asghar. So field of 12 now, with the absence of number 11, Jameh Azez. Race 8 coming up for the apprentice jockeys, the Irish Thoroughbred Marketing Cup.
So let's have a look at the 12 horses then in the parade ring for our final race, the Irish Thoroughbred Marketing Cup. In our picture is horse number 1, Mission Boy. Trained now by Hadi Ibrahim, was with Stanmore last season when he won a race here. And Abbas Ibrahim takes the ride on horse number 1, Mission Boy.
This is Chimgan, Ali Hussein and Osama Hashim combining. Course and distance winner, that came out of Neil Callan at the back end of last year. 2 runs so far this year. They haven't been without promise, perhaps just on the sharp side over 1200. Return to the 1400 may well suit this 3-year-old son of Kotai Glory.
Horse number 3 is 9 Below Zero. Salah Isa rides for Mohammed Hassan in the colours of Al Afu Racing. A horse who's having his second start of the season, looking to improve on that first start back at the beginning of November. Horse number 3, 9 Below Zero. This race for apprentice jockeys, and here they claim 3 kilograms if they've had less than 20 wins, and 2 kilograms for 20 to 30 wins. And horse number 4, Notions, is ridden by Ahmed Maki, who claims 2 kilograms, so the most experienced apprentice in the race. Notions trained by Hisham Al-Haddad, having his second start in Bahrain, having run just last Saturday. Well, it's horse number 4, Notions.
This is Yuan Prince. There he is coming towards us. Got a ton of hot streak for Ali Musa and Osama Hashim in the colours of Al Mohammedia Racing. 1 or 2 in the race for the owners who've had success in one of the big races already today. A good form in the book over this distance. Probably a little bit far last time over 1600. Dropping in trip may well be what he wants.
There's horse number 6, Modmin, who is going to be ridden by Abdullah Al-Hawaj, trained by Harib Al-Malki, a horse that has had a couple of runs this season, finishing down the placings, so looking to improve today. That is horse number 6, Modmin.
There is horse number 8, that's Inveigle. This horse had some decent juvenile form in the UK. I suppose been a touch disappointing since coming out here. Alan Smith trains and Hussein Asghar rides. He's a gelded son of Dark Angel. He has got ability, definitely. And no doubt this trainer will hopefully be able to unlock it. So we'll see how he goes. But as he eases down the ratings, he's got to become of interest.
Horse number 7 then, Maib, who's going to be ridden by Hassan Ali. Yusuf Taha, the trainer here. And Hassan already on board. And a horse who's having his first run of the season. A one-time winner in the past in his career. Mayhaib, horse number 7.
This is horse number 9, Al-Abrar, for Mohammed Jamil, on board, claiming 3 for Osama Hashim, in the colours of Al-Sarafi Syndicate. A horse who's been ridden by Robert Tart on both starts this season. Decent bits of form as well behind Giustino and Grigadale. This on paper may look a touch more winnable, and the best effort, or his best effort, came over this distance. So there are some positives for Al-Abrar.
Horse 10 is going to be ridden by Ali Sabri, already on board. This is Halleck, a chestnut gelding, and he's had just one run this season. Abdullah Faisal rode that time, but he's dropping down in trip. Finished behind Grigdale that time, who was running in the Turf Series race earlier, so bumped into some good horses. So Halleck, this should be a little bit easier for him. That's horse number 10.
This is horse 12, Joe Spirit, has the hood on and a tongue tie as well. The hood was on last time. Didn't necessarily bring about too much improvement. This 7-year-old needs to show a little bit more under Mohammed Oreda for Osama Hashim, the 4th of the Hashim runners.
And finally, Suspect Package is horse number 13 for trainer Alan Smith. Hussein Asaga rides this one, taking 3 kilograms off. And he's a horse who's having his 3rd start, or 4th start rather, of the season. He's been busy. He's been running over a little bit further than this trip today with Edison Rodriguez riding. Interesting to see how Hussein Asaga gets on this afternoon on horse number 13, Suspect Package.
Well, that looks very pleasant, doesn't it? Sun setting on this day's racing. And we're not too far away until it's gone completely. It does get dark pretty quick out here, doesn't it? But we've got 8 races in, and this is the final one. Darren can talk them down a post.
Thanks, Tom. Yes, 12 runners making their way to the 1400-metre start, with the apprentice jockeys in the spotlight here for our final race of the day. Yellow jacket there, blue sash. That's Joe Spirit, number 12. See Joe Spirit there right along the outside running rail. Blue colours of Modmin. And Abdullah Al-Hawaj aboard, number 6, Modmin. It's been preceded by Suspect Package. Hassan Asghar, number 13, Suspect Package, has the sheepskin noseband. Red cap of Victorious, that's Suspect Package. Alabra, number 9, white with the red sash and the striped cap. Mohamed Jamil aboard Alabra, red white sleeves there, red cap of Ewan Prince. Ewan Prince, who was a winner here back in January. Ewan Prince and Ali Musa aboard Ewan Prince. And alongside there in the red with the black chevron, that's 9 below 0. Number 3. 9 below 0. And Salah Issa. So Alabra arrives at the start with Harlick there in the blue with the white epaulets, white sleeves, number 10. Harlick. And Ali Sabri aboard Harlick. And Inveigle is number 8, dark blue with the white chevron for Hussein Asghar, one of the 2 runners from the Alan Smith stable, the other one being Suspect Package. Mission Boy in shot, number 1, Mission Boy. And Abbas Ibrahim aboard Mission Boy. He's got the purple colours, the light blue chevron. In behind, you'll see Ewan Prince there with the red cap, white sleeves. So runners arriving at the start. Still a few more down, a few more of them to get to post. So 1,400 metres the journey. There's Inveigle going to post calmly. Inveigle, number 8. The stable companion there on the outside, that Suspect Package. So 1,400 metres, got that run to the end of the back straight of around about 500 metres. Turn for home around about 600 out. So they're just arriving at the start for the final race of the day. Bear in mind, number 11, Jamé Azez, is the non-runner here.
There they are then, down at the start. Loading process will be underway pretty shortly. This race due off at 4:30 local time. And it's not far off bedtime, which the adults will be looking forward to. But yeah, that's a great turnout, isn't it? I think that's been a huge success this year. By and large, from you were out here more than me, Ali, last year. The crowds were pretty consistent throughout the season, were they?
Yeah, the crowds are always good, and great local support. When you saw Ibrahim Nada winning his 3rd race today, you saw the cheers and the whistles as he came in. There we are. That guy wants to be a jockey. Yeah. Watch out, Ibrahim.
Yeah, listen, it's not too late to register for the apprentice race.
What they have done in the last few meetings is bought one of the race simulators down there for people to have a go on. I don't know if it's over there today. Maybe he was hoping it was. It looks like he's going to be buying a new riding hat. But no, it's good.
Well,
and it's also,
that's what you can do in the next couple of weeks. We can get you on the simulator.
Yeah, right, yeah. Maybe.
Ali is a very accomplished rider. I'm not.
But it's great because what I like about the racing here, you always a good lot of kids and crowd and youngsters here and just enjoying the horses and the sport.
And that's what it should be, really, is a nice family day out, shouldn't it? And that's what here really seems to embody, and that's why that new area seems to have worked out very well.
I went up to the Jockey Academy yesterday, which is based in the grandstand, and the facilities there are amazing. They've got push-along horse simulators, they've got some mechanical horse simulators, they've got sort of big screens where they can practice riding in a race, and bringing on these apprentice jockeys is very important for the club. They're really focusing on trying to get young Bahraini jockeys, the likes of Ibrahim that we talked about earlier, who's been over in the UK riding. Abdullah Faisal's another leading jockey. He's ridden, he's riding in Qatar this weekend, actually. So they're really focusing on getting these apprentices right up to world-class level.
But that's not what we always see in the Middle East, and that's why I think this is great for the local riders. You know, I've spent a bit of time over the water in Dubai, and that really is all about the international riders that come out. And actually, it's lovely to come here and see the perfect mixture of local riders and international riders as well, and an academy bringing through young local riders.
Yeah, and hopefully they'll get more chances around the rest of the world. We talked about them sort of riding in Dubai and in Qatar, but it would be great to see some of the young Bahraini jockeys coming over to the UK or to Europe in the summer and getting some more rides. As they load up.
I'm going with 9 Below Zero, who has got some really good back form, and I don't know a huge amount about Salisa, but this horse has got ability and showed it a couple of starts ago as well.
I'm going for Notions, horse number 4 for Ahmed Maki, leading apprentice here, Hisham Al-Haddad, having his second start. He's going to come on for that as he loads up.
Last one going forward, or there or thereabouts, probably a few more out the back. We will join Darren Owen for the last.
So they are ready to go, and they are off. Racing, Harlick and Mayhab were awkwardly away smartly in the centre, 9 Below Zero, but it is Joe's Spirit who moves forward now. Joe's Spirit being followed by 9 Below Zero, with Inveigle pulling very hard. Mission Boys to the outside. Chimgan is further back, being followed by Modmin, and then back in mid-division is Suspect Package, is being chased by Mayhab, with Notions to the inside. Harlick and Alabra are following, and Ewan Prince is along last. They leave the back straight behind them, and it's Joe's Spirit in front from Inveigle, who's been over racing fractionally. Gap then of a couple of lengths to 9 Below Zero in the red and black colours to the inside, followed by Mission Boy, Chimgan, and between runners is Modmin. Mission Boy just losing a bit of ground around the turn. Suspect Package is back in midfield, chased by Notions, with Mayhab with work to do. They've got 400 left to go, and Inveigle's the one going for home, edges over to that running rail, being followed by 9 Below Zero in second. Modmin coming home very nicely to the wide outside. Chimgan white cap to the running rail, 200 metres from the conclusion, and it is Inveigle the leader. Inveigle from Modmin. Chimgan is the finisher. It's Inveigle with a length and a half here on Modmin in second place, and Chimgan is running on between horses. Inveigle and Chimgan coming home strongly, and Chimgan may have got there. Chimgan's got there. Well timed from Inveigle and Modmin. Good finish. Those few were a few lengths clear of Suspect Package and 9 Below Zero. So good finish to our nightcap. Chimgan, number 2, looks to have just worn down Inveigle. Modmin came home really well, but Chimgan looks to have just done it then in the hands of Ali Hussein. Chimgan, number 2 on the card. Got a split between horses, looking at the closing stages. Inveigle was desperately in search of that line, but Chimgan was the one who hit the line really well and got up close home. Chimgan's won it. Inveigle's second place, Modmin third, and they were clear of 9 Below Zero.
Well, last of the day was the race of the day. What a ride as well. Timed it perfectly, did Ali Hussein. Osama Hashim, the winning trainer, one of 4 in the race for Osama, and Chimgan got there in the shadow of the post. Inveigle is a talented horse, perhaps did a little bit too much too early. I think that's definitely told late on. Hussein Asghar, I feel for him. He may well have thought he'd won the race, but it wasn't quite to be in the end, as he edges over towards the far side rail. But look at the route that Ali Hussein has chosen on Chimgan, this son of Gutai Glory. He's had to pick his way through and produce the horse bang on time to score. There's Modmin down the outside. He's run well, but Chimgan has got there and proved himself over this distance yet again. Definitely stepping back up to 1400 as suited, and that's a big day for this man. Well done to Ali Hussein, and Chimgan takes out the last. Good day as well for Al Muhammadiyah Racing. We'll go and catch this horse shortly, and no doubt hear from the winning rider. All smiles for Ali Hussein.
So the result of the 8th race: first number 2 Chimgan, second number 8 Inveigle, third number 6 Modmin, and fourth was number 3 9 Below Zero. Chimgan takes out the finale.
Let's have a word with our winning jockey, Ali Hussein. Ali, the way you punched the air when you crossed the line, this one means a lot to you, this win.
I'm good. I stay behind the 4th place. After when you coming 600 meters, little bit I start move. But when you come 400, when you ask to him, he give me good backup. A good horse. Congratulations to Mohammedia teams.
Congratulations indeed to Al Mohammedia. Congratulations to you. Let's hear a huge cheer then, everyone here at the racecourse, all the local support. I'm sure we're going to hear plenty of whistles and screams for Ali Hussein, winner on Chimgan.
So, confirming the result of the 8th and final race, the Irish Thoroughbred Marketing Cup for the apprentice jockeys. First, number 2 Chimgan, second, number 8 Inveigle, third, number 6 Modmin, and fourth was number 3 9 Below Zero. The distances half a length and ahead, and the official time of the winning horse 1 minute 24.62. 1 minute 24.62.
So we come to our final trophy presentation, the 8th race, the Irish Thoroughbred Marketing Cup for apprentice jockeys over 1,400 metres. And we welcome back onto the winner's rostrum Jeremy Green of the Irish Thoroughbred Marketing Company to present the trophy. Winning jockey there, Ali Hussein. Just talking to connections of Chimgan, owned by Al Mohammedia Racing. His Highness Sheikh Sultan has had a great day, including victory in one of the Turf Series races with Arctic Empire. And we're getting this trophy presentation underway shortly. First ever victory for Ali Hussein. And here is His Highness Sheikh Sultan bin Mohammed Al Khalifa of Al Mohammedia Racing, receiving his second trophy of the afternoon. This one courtesy of Chimgan, winning the Irish Thoroughbred Marketing Cup. Well done to His Highness Sheikh Sultan, trainer Osama Hashim, and jockey Ali Hussein. So those were our eight winners today. It has been a cracking opening day of the Bahrain Turf Series. We've seen 2 of the 10 races. And Tom, last year, as I said, we were waiting right till the final day before we saw an international winner. But Lukanda absolutely smashed it for the George Baker team in that opening 10 furlong Bahrain Turf Series race. Looked mighty impressive and going to be a tough one for the locals to beat.
Yeah, absolutely blitzed them, and bigger things await now off the back of that. As you said, it's a conditions race, and then perhaps onto a King's Cup, something like that. Really impressive, took the field apart, and it was great, I suppose, really for George and Candida Baker as well, who've really supported racing out here, and that's been well rewarded by that prize.
Yeah, I think that this time around, the international trainers know the type of horse. They know that they have to get better horses out here to compete with the locals, and they've done that. The Bakers, Candida said she knew absolutely nothing about the horse, but she just knew it would like the conditions here. First run for the trainer, come over, been training brilliantly, but they said they certainly didn't expect her to do that. So a nice surprise for the Baker team. What did you make of that race, Darren?
Well, George said he'd be back, and he's back bigger and better with Lukanda. Very, very impressive performance from Lukanda. And Get It in the following race really caught my eye, and I think that horse will be winning races. I'm sure you'll talk about that race in a second, but George said he'd be back bigger and better. Lukanda, who was last seen running in the Cambridgeshire, which is, as you know, a hot handicap in the UK, but he was really impressive today.
Well, let's talk about the 5 furlong race, won by Nomadic Empire in the colours of Al Mohammedia Racing, ridden by Neil Callan, Team Bahrain, trained though by David O'Meara, Team International, Team UK. So I'd guess you're going to sort of split victory there. So it's a tough one to decide which team can claim that one. But
officially,
yeah,
international.
officially international.
I think as far as the standings go, you go international.
But snuck in right at the bottom of the weights there, Nomadic Empire, and another great ride by Neil Callan.
It was, wasn't it? It could progress through the ranks as well. And I think that's exactly what he wants, is a sound surface, a good pace to aim at. I suppose one thing at the back of my mind is he probably ended up drawing the right side, and those that were drawn near side, you may, Darren, just want to forgive ever so slightly.
Yeah, the pace was on the far side, 1, 2 and 3 home on the far side. As I was saying, George Baker's Get It led the charge near side, was awkwardly into stride as well, and has finished 4th. And I thought that was a really eye-catching run with the remainder of the season in mind.
2 races down then, 8 to go. It's a fabulous start to the Bahrain Turf Series. We'll be back for our next meeting. Our next Turf Series date is between Christmas and New Year, the 30th of December. We'll see you then. We've got 2 more two more series races that day. Looking forward to seeing then 30th December. But from all of us, it's goodbye and see you then.